Zaslow, I'm made uncomfortable by your level of Tua rage.
What's uncomfortable about it?
It's just outsized. It's you're not reasonably angry. You've got 25 years of resentment built up for this organization.
Well, you know what it is? I don't know if you're aware of this feature, this character trait when it comes to sports talk show hosts, Dan. We like to be right. And I've been very wrong about Tua. So I don't like being very publicly wrong, all right? But at the same time, I don't know, like that his behavior last game, it really bothered me.
He's absolutely right. The number one feature of a sports talk radio host or sports talk TV is I want to be right. And when I'm wrong, it's not because I did poor calculations or poor projections or poor analysis. It's because the athlete I picked messed up. It's all his fault.
I think I'd rather be interesting than right.
Nick, right?
I like being right. In this case, I was very wrong. And yeah, this is me. Like, I get it. It could be dopey fan stuff. I'm totally
It's not journalism to be that biased. And I'm not saying that you and Amin aren't right. I believe it's a large governor in how a lot of people on sports television opine about athletes. They made me look bad, therefore I'm mad. My opinion is emotional.
Mm-hmm. I love admitting when I'm wrong.
Zaz, are you a journalist?
Oh, yeah.
I would not consider you a journalist.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's great that you don't consider me one, but if you were ever to come to the Zaslow Mansion, you would see that there is a degree from School of Journalism, and that makes me a journalist.
Santa Fe School of Journalism.
Nope, never stepped foot on that campus
University of Phoenix.
Let's start the show, a year in review. Turning over. Clear out the old and bring in the new. Turning over.
Holidays are back, Jack, drop a new track. Here with an audio almanac. We said bye-bye Billy and that was whack.
When will Stu come back?
You know about that Thai food lifts my mood. Zaslow is a wild dude. Nice hat, soul, I got the scoop. Salute Juju, got him with the alley-oop.
What's the worst part of their life? Hey! Will Forkins got a new wife. Oh! Roy Bellamy loves to talk park. Hey! When Chris messes up, he says, whoa! Does Greg have a back in my day? No! The traffic just got in his way. Oh! And then he says, you never know. Hey! Confirm it, you don't get the show. Oh!
Let's start the show, a year in review. Turning over.
We got Pablo vocal modulating. Amin's been weekend observating. Connor McDee's McOverating. Again?
The Panthers took that ass.
So let's give it to Dan because his name's on the show. And hand it to Mike because he happened to know. Now pass me the ball like Stafford to Puka. Feliz Navidad and Happy Chanukah.
Let's start the show, a year in review. Turning over. Clear out the old and bring in the new. Turning over.
Super disrespectful of Trista, second day in, questioning your journalism credentials.
Especially because I know Trista, and she knows me. We've been friends for a few years now. It's very disrespectful.
So, I was there for Jonathan Zaslow at his lowest moment in his career. I lent an olive branch.
She really was. That's how we became friends.
When LeBron went back to Cleveland?
That was hard, too, but we did not know each other back then. She was very sweet to me a few years ago when I got let go from $7.90 the ticket. Yeah.
Okay, but that's nice, and she's been disrespectful.
I know. That's the whole point.
Saying you're not a journalist. You say you have a degree.
I'm not saying I have.
Are you into this dynamic where you say something nice and then Dan just tries to put a bigger wedge between you?
I kind of like it, actually. I feel very strong in me and Zaz's relationship. But just because you have a journalism degree does not make you a journalist.
I don't think that's true at all.
What? A journalism is something you live every day, Zaz. In your heart, in your spirit, in your words. You are as biased as they come, my brother.
Zaz, in essence, she's saying just because I dress like a police officer does not make me one.
I don't think he dresses like a journalist either.
He does dress like an undercover cop.
Well, that is fine. All right, I will accept that.
I am looking for some marijuana out here. Do you know where I can find some, kids?
What are we doing here with, in general, the look? Are we saying, Zaz, give me a list.
Undercover cop.
Give me a list of categories. Is undercover cop better than skateboarder, dresses like a skateboarder?
Retired skateboarder.
Those are all the same thing.
Are they? Can you give me a list of other things that are like that to knock off of the top? Undercover cop, I thought, was witty, acting at his strangest, trying to be a human being. I thought that was the standard we had around here for undercover cop. I don't know that this would fool anybody.
No, he looks like an undercover cop. Witty might behave as an undercover cop. That guy looks like an undercover cop. But I'll give you something he looks like more than undercover cop or retired skateboarder. Soda drinker.
New metal frontman.
Fidget spinner salesman.
Put all of those on the poll, Juju, for
Troll
me.
on the internet.
I want to get to Tua being benched and feeling hurt about being benched, and I want to get to the University of Miami as well in a second. But I do want to start by throwing you guys a theory on our local hockey team and see if you guys bite on this as they beat Los Angeles last night and hold it together in a way that is unusual given the injuries that they have.
What a team.
My theory is on when you say what a team is, basketball and baseball are hard on human beings physically, okay, because of the amount of travel. People underestimate how hard it is, but the amount of travel and everything makes it very hard. But I think our standard bearers for toughness outside of boxing and the individual sports are hockey and football, and what it takes to actually be a champion and what it takes to take the championship from a champion, a two-time champion. The amount of physical resolve that it takes in that sport culturally to become champion, I think, shows you what this team is, even without its best players, as they try to hold this season afloat, because it means something more to them to defend that championship, because every day they're getting out of bed with physical pain and going to work. And the standard is you play no matter what the pain is. And it's in football too, but football doesn't also have the travel schedule that baseball and hockey have. So I believe that what it takes to be a hockey champion physically is actually harder than all of the other sports. And when you win the championship in that sport, you're actually tougher than you are in all of the other sports.
Is Evan Rodriguez even alive right now?
Did he get hurt again
He
in
got
the game
hurt
last
again.
night? Like, I know he got hit in the ear, and then he came back. I'm like, look, he doesn't even have an ear anymore, and he's still playing.
I just Googled it. Google AI says, yes, professional hockey player Evan Rodriguez is alive and well.
Not well. I can guarantee
Yeah, I don't know
he's
about the
not
well part.
So take me through the two parts of my theory. First of all, would you be willing to concede that if it's harder to win the championship in that sport, people say, than it is in any of the sport, that the hockey champion is tougher, just tougher than all of the other athletes?
I think just the hockey player is tougher.
Football, even football, because I think most people listening to this would say football. But again, I'll tell you, football doesn't also have the schedule. They're traveling all over the place. You don't hear them complaining about load management. And they're traveling just as much as the baseball and the basketball players are.
Yeah, football players go, a week, sometimes more, in between car accidents. Yeah. Hockey players have 4 multiple car accidents a week.
And you'll still get the football player every now and then who will come out and talk about, they want us to play an 18th game, or they want us to expand the schedule. Do they really care about our safety? Like, let me know the next time you hear a hockey player complain about anything.
But I do think that most of us would concede that football physically is harder than hockey on the body.
No, they're valid complaints.
Is this the part where we talk about their players' association being weak and not taking care of its constituency?
You could argue that. It's just a weird cultural thing with hockey. They're just different dudes.
Well, it is bizarre, and I think most people who love hockey know this. I don't know that most people in South Florida know about what it takes to be a two-time champion in that sport when that's the culture you're talking about. The culture is You play through anything to defend that cup. Broken femurs, you're a torso out there. You play through every single thing, and the guy next to you expects you to play through every single thing.
Oh my God! Like I've made the point when it comes to the load management with the NBA. Like, can you imagine a hockey player walking into the dressing room the morning of the morning skate and like, oh, you're not putting your stuff on today? What's going on? I'm taking the day off. Like, the reaction would be crazy.
Okay, but I also think that hockey players are unhealthy mentally and physically.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. And they put the culture of the team ahead of themselves and probably end up with lifelong mental issues as a result of all those concussions.
I mean, look, Matthew Tkachuk, what he played through in the postseason last year to defend their Stanley Cup and, of course, win it again is why he has not played yet this season.
And we forget the Stanley Cup that they lost to the Knights in. He had a broken sternum, came back, had a game-winning assist, and then missed the rest of the series.
Well, and that morning, too, Brady had to help him get dressed.
Yes.
I do want sort of the nation, though, to understand the link that's being made emotionally right now between this town and this team. Whatever it is the Knicks are feeling for a team that hasn't won a championship, you are seeing the seed sown on that team represents me. I love its grit. I love how it fights. I love that it represents me in a way that I'm going to pass down to my kids. Generational fandom is being born now in South Florida because not just the winning, but the things that we're talking about. Oh, they're going to be that proud about the way they try to defend their titles?
Dan, I hate to break it to you. What's happening, you're right, seeds are being sown and grown and maybe lifelong fandom. But the biggest thing that's happening is that every other professional sport in this market isn't doing this.
Okay, that's how the Heat did it for 20 years. Well, that's how they stole the entire market.
But the point is, the Heat get Giannis tomorrow and go to the finals. That this town,
We'll see.
Hockey, get the hell out of here.
Well, no, I'm not remotely going to argue that we are a hockey town, at least not yet. That's why I'm really curious and excited, and a little bit of me is fearful about the Winter Classic too. I think this is certainly Broward's team.
Meaning you don't think it's going to be a good crowd?
I hope it is.
I think it's going to be very
This
good.
is Miami-Dade County's opportunity to show that team from Broward how much it's appreciated the last 3 years.
I mean, also, Mike, like it's Broward and it's Dade. It's not a 3-hour drive.
I understand all those things. It's also a bigger stadium to
It is
fill.
Friday rush hour. It might be rough.
Ask
I
Greg Cody
think
about
this
that.
is a reasonable concern that he has that Miami could get embarrassed and be national laughingstock here because Calle Ocho. Look, these are two very different cities. I don't know if anyone here cares about Radio Mambi ending its existence after 40 years in this market, firing their entire on-air staff. But
Gonna miss those guys.
there are a contingent of people in Miami who only speak Spanish. That was their news source. It's gone after 40 years in this market. But it's keeping Heat and Marlins games.
Oh, that's great.
They're
That's
getting
signal.
rid of their on-air staff, but they are because that translates usually in both languages.
For those that aren't familiar with where Lone Depot Park is, it is in the middle of a neighborhood in the most Hispanic area in Miami-Dade. There are roosters walking the streets. It is Little Havana.
Trista, you know about that Lone Depot Park?
No, but I am so jacked. I would like to go. When is this?
It's the old Orange Bowl site, and it's going to be January 2nd. And I'm not necessarily fearful of it not being a great turnout. I think they'll pack the house, but I just want that team to feel appreciation specifically from Miami-Dade County. We know how they've developed this following in Broward County. I see the crowds at the bars in Miami-Dade. It's still very much growing here. And I just want this team to get respect the way that they deserve it.
Are we saying, hold on, the Lone Depot Park is in the middle of a deeply Hispanic neighborhood? Yeah. Well, who could have thought about putting it there? Who is this genius that we can think?
The reality is Broward's going to travel well. Broward will travel well for this because it's just one
so,
individual
too.
game.
and
unlike
Rangers
having,
and Rangers.
Yeah,
You're gonna
Rangers
get plenty-
too. But I want it to feel Miami. I want it to reflect the area, the precise area that it's in, the old Orange Bowl site. I know there are Latino Panther fans out there that make the trek up to Broward, and I just want this to feel a little bit more vibrant and reflect that community specifically.
You can say vibrant. Q-Tip said
Vibrant thing.
I think that what Mike is speaking to is sort of how the World Baseball Classic, when it came to Miami, and all of a sudden it's super Latin in the crowd. He's talking about, will Miami represent the culture on a street of land where my grandparents lived and didn't speak English the entirety of their lives, because there are roosters around there, and there was supposed to be a town. That was supposed to be an economy that got lifted there. You're asking it for it to be super Latin, not just energetic, but Latin.
I understand why it's not. They announced one of the musical performers, and while it's a guy that a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, I like Role Model. Had a decent
Role
SNL,
Model's performance?
Had a decent SNL
All right, I'm
performance.
there. I don't know that fool.
Who's going to be his Sally?
It's not Pitbull. That's what I kind of want. Second intermission. Let's liven it up a little bit.
We'll talk more about the Winter Classic tomorrow, but I want you guys to answer the question before I get to Tua and the University of Miami of whether you're willing to buy on the idea that whether South Florida fully embraces it because it understands hockey or doesn't understand hockey. You're presently looking at something that, not unlike the Chiefs and the Patriots, is the best thing this town has ever had in sports in terms of everything that you feel about sports, because it's not just the winning, but you're going to fall in love with the players because they care as much as you do in a way that's super unusual.
So isn't that the answer to what you asked me 15 minutes ago and what has me so angry about Tua? Like, the Dolphins' season ended on Monday night, and the face of the franchise who plays the most important position is laughing, is belly laughing, is cackling, is having a great time with a guy on the other team, and the Panthers, they give everything to the winning. Like, can you imagine a player on the Panthers after they get eliminated from the playoffs, let alone just a regular season game? Can you imagine just yucking it up with the other player? That's part of, I think, what has me so angry about this is all these things that we love about the hockey team. They care so much, and fans, that shit's important to fans. And then you got this, where Tua, boy, he's having a great time as he's about to lose his job.
Well, we've got sound from Tua that doesn't sound like he's as happy as you're portraying him. I understand your rage. It's 25 years built up. Adam Schefter saying on McAfee, clearly Miami is going to be moving forward without Tua one way or another. He's third emergency quarterback this week, and that's just to protect his head and his trade value. Like, that's simply a business decision. But can we get the sound of Tua? This doesn't seem like a person who doesn't care, Zaslow. This is a person, you can't accuse him of not caring, can you, just because he's laughing on the sidelines?
It's not even just laughing on the sideline. It's after the game. Like, it wasn't a singular laugh like the one shot of him on the sideline. He's having a great time after the game with Jalen Ramsey.
Zaz, what if Jalen Ramsey says something funny, man? Like, you're discounting how funny Jalen Ramsey is, and he's a former teammate, so, like, it's not out of the question, right? Like, sometimes, hey, man, it doesn't mean like, I'm angry. How do you know I'm angry? Oh, man, look at my face. Oh, he said something funny. I won't laugh with you. Oh, come on, man, grow up. Grow up, man. They're adults. It doesn't mean he's not upset about losing. You know, I like making Tua jokes as much as anybody. But, like, the idea of, like, this one snapshot of him talking to a former teammate and laughing, that means he doesn't care about anything?
It doesn't fly with me, man. Like, I don't need the players on my team who lose to go into some deep depression, some dark place after they lose the game. But can you have a little bit of self-awareness as to what is going on here? You're the face of the franchise, and you play like shit this year, and this is how we're behaving in front of everybody.
Dog, come on.
Have a little self-awareness.
I think there's a difference between him running around like being the jokester, not taking anything seriously on a regular basis versus a 5-second clip of him talking to somebody he knows after the game. This is the part, you know what this is? This is the part where fans project like their loser like lives onto athletes. Why aren't you breaking your TV like a dumbass like I did last night because we lost this game? Sorry, man. Like, that doesn't, like, that level of rage that just makes you kind of like angry at your family and all that stuff. Like, that's not normal. Most people are able to compartmentalize.
You got mad at the Tua press conference?
No, there's nothing to get mad about with Tua yesterday. I mean, I don't know what there is to be upset about. Like, he's going to say, I'm upset, of course. Like, what do you expect him to say?
You're not questioning the amount he cares, correct? Because McDaniel is saying he wants conviction from the quarterback position. Let's play the McDaniel sound here, talking about what seems like a slap at Tua because his decision-making, if it's not there on the first option, he needs him to have conviction about the second option. So he's basically saying he's got a quarterback who doesn't have confidence. And if you throw 15 interceptions, lead the league in interceptions, you're going to lose confidence.
Ultimately, the team needs, and I'm looking for conviction in quarterback play, and understanding that he is a rookie. I felt that he would play the position most convicted, which is and which impacts every player on the field, and realistically, that's what I was looking for. I needed more convicted play from the quarterback position. I thought Quinn could deliver on that.
That's not used correctly. Most convicted means arrested a bunch of times. Like he's using the coach is using the wrong words. He needs his quarterback to have more confidence. That's damning. He's slapping him when he's down. I want to examine the entirety of this with Tua, because I will tell you that he lost this team in the middle of the season. And wherever it is that he didn't have real confidence, it evaporated right there when the guys in the locker room didn't like how he reacted to the adversity. So I imagine he's got a quarterback who's you think he's mentally broken because of the concussions. I think he's mentally broken because this is a really hard job and he was kind of alone in doing it as the ship started to sink.
How do you have confidence, or at least maintain confidence, when your offensive line year after year has been ranked the golden sieve for worst in the league, and you're under duress, and Tua has been hit a bajillion times, so close that we think he could retire at any time? It's really hard to have confidence when those two factors continue to be right there.
The one that she's like, when I say the all of it, okay? There's one player in the entire league who's consciously watched the last few years. His television has talked about his brain might not be right. This sport is dangerous. He looked like he had a ton of confidence when he was leading the league in passing. But what if you wake up next to your new baby and you're like, I don't know how my brain is doing, and I got to hide some of this from people. And now when I get in front of the microphones, everyone's mocking me when I'm in front of the microphones because I'm losing, and I'm a caricature the last 5 years as an avatar for everyone in this sports media who's biased about being right and wrong is yelling about me on television, whether or not I'm actually a good quarterback or a product of my coach. I imagine that would shake any human being's confidence.
McDaniel was looking for the word confident, right? Like the most convicted?
I think he was
Does he
looking
say
for
maybe
conviction.
having the most conviction? Is
Yeah,
that
that's what
it
he was
must have
going
been?
for, yeah.
Okay.
Conviction.
I could not figure out what word he was going for there.
Yeah, he just was trying to say he needs somebody who's maximum confident. But I really do think we underestimate like the humanity in the center of these huddles, man. Like he's waking up next to a new baby every morning after 6 years of people arguing about, is this guy good or not? And then he gets like 8 months of good where he gets to feel good. What are you laughing about, Amin?
Because you keep saying, oh, he's waking up to a new baby. And in my mind, I'm thinking of him waking up like, who the fuck is this?
Get that baby its own crib.
You guys aren't understandably being very human about the mockery, laughter, and anchor that we throw around Tua's ankle at the end. Here, thanks for the good times. Get out of here. Hurry up about it. And I get it.
Journalists.
I get it. Man,
I could turn it off and on.
25 years, Dolphin fans have been wrong about this team. You think the journalists are angry? Like 25 years, this is the worst thing is being poor after you've been rich. For 5 minutes there, this fan base dared to hope because of this quarterback who kept getting brain injured. And now we're mad at him because he dared to allow us to hope, and we look stupid.
You're absolutely right. That's what it is. If he had just been not good, like everyone would be like, all right, well, who's next? Quinn Ewers, give him a try. But it's the idea, Dan, that he tantalized them for a brief moment in time. They thought they saw a future. Remember the Super Bowl? We were like, what if the Dolphins make the Super Bowl here? That was a thing that we talked about.
I mean, I'm not kidding you when I say before 2000, this was the winningest franchise in all of sports. And then for 25 years, this fan base doesn't win a playoff game. Not a single one. He feels betrayed. He's pissed off. He's angry. And every time he voices any of this, it's just universal applause from the audience. And thank you. Thank you for saying what I've been saying for 25 years. We suck in all the ways. But for 5 minutes, he thought he had a good team.
That's a good sports media journalist right there, man. He knows what the audience wants. He's feeding them.
Oh, my
you are a
God.
picture.
He gets never more applause than everyone sucks, get them all out of here. It's the easiest move in sports radio down here. People still care about this dumb thing. And Tua gave us 5 minutes of, wait a minute, can they fake their way into having another Marino because Nerd Boy can call up 18 touchdowns for Raheem Mostert? Like the fan base is so pissed off and betrayed, so angry, and this is an easy point to just dump all their acid.
But if you can put aside the betrayal and the feeling, the Quinn Ewers move is right now. Because if you find something in him on that low contract, then you can kind of eat what's going on with Tua right now. Because it's been evident, like, it's embarrassing to have to hide your best or highest paid player every single week. So if Quinn can come in and be any kind of value, I think it's a win for the Dolphins.
It's so interesting to me to see the sink is shipping and Greer's the first one out. It's
the second time. The ship is sinking.
What'd I say?
The sink is shipping.
Which by the way, I'm not mad at
order.
that. I want to see a sink be shipped away like that. That means it's
Department
over.
store.
I'm glad you mentioned that because the first time he said it, I'm like, I've never heard that.
He
phrase.
caught it
Interesting.
the first time, but then he just let it loose there.
Let that sip sink.
The ship be sinking. Michael Ray Richardson said it, and I was uncomfortable around it then, and now I've got some sort of trauma in the middle of it where I don't know how to say that Dolphin thing has been falling apart in front of our eyes for, I don't know, I'm going to say 18 months, but the last 5, knockout Greer, McDaniel's in trouble. The three faces of this team that made it not a regional team, a national team, were Tyreek Hill, McDaniel, and Tua, all fighting for their jobs, and one after another, they fall out in different ways, and this is how Tua falls out. It's messy, and this will fall on McDaniel if he's fired too, because he'll be the last place to put it. All of this anger has to go somewhere, and this is the worst place for it to go because this fan base is turned on this quarterback. God, my God, you pretended to love him through the brain injuries.
I don't think anybody pretended to love him.
I didn't pretend.
I think they loved him.
Yeah.
I think they loved him, and I think he was given some grace, and it's ending the way that it ends for any quarterback that is playing poorly for a pro team.
That's why it sucks. I wasn't pretending to love him. Like I didn't love Tannehill.
I actually think he's being extended a compassion and a grace that most of the quarterbacks in his position aren't offered because I think everyone kind of understands there's a line of demarcation here, and the drop-off was when these head injuries started to mount up.
I think Dan is saying pretended because you guys turned on him so fast.
It's superficial.
If you actually loved
Exactly,
him,
that's what I was about
you'd
to
feel
say.
bad for him and say, well, I hope he gets the help he needs. Not like, get this bum out of here.
Well, it's not like he's coming over for Thanksgiving. Their relationship with him is superficial,
Right,
so
like,
their care for
yeah,
him would
like
also
how are we
reflect
confused
that.
about what this relationship
no,
is like?
wait a minute. I do think all of you are confused about it, and you're forgetting how adamant you were about fighting the media. No, this is real, this number one offense. This quarterback's real. You guys are being real rationalizing with this person is someone you rallied around, making the Dolphins a national hopeful figure because you thought you had a quarterback.
I think I'm being a realist in describing the relationship for what it is.
Yep.
Like I think you're trying to make the relationship with the market something bigger than it is. I think people understand. Like it's a quarterback that plays for a pro team.
Yeah, I'll never understand why anyone would be confused with my feelings toward a player when he's playing well and he's benefiting me, and my feelings toward the player when he's playing terrible and making me unhappy. That's the relationship.
Journalist.
That's how sports work.
And I think that's the full circle moment right there, which is why Tua is allowing himself to have a great time after the game because he tuned into you. He hear you. Like, okay, this is how the fans have turned on me. I need some kind of laugh with my friends so that I don't go home and have that depression that you speak of because listening to you talk about him, you would think he did something to your family and you say you used to love this man.
I just, I go back and I tweeted this out yesterday, like, man, the Dolphins would lose a game. We're talking 20, 25 years ago. And Dan knows this. You go in that Dolphin locker room, you go talk to Jason Taylor, you go talk to Zach Thomas, you would think that someone died in their family.
It's a different game these days
and
as well.
Like if Jason Taylor was sitting right here and I said to Jason Taylor, what do you think about Tua on the field laughing, the other night with Jalen Rhodes? He'd be disgusted.
I'm not saying that this isn't callous. It is. We should probably be nicer, but I would say that he's being offered more grace than, say, Daniel Jones was.
Yeah, but he was – I don't think it's the same relationship, guys. I think you're shrugging your shoulders.
Daniel Jones won a playoff game for New York.
You're shrugging your shoulders, I think, on something that ignores that while you're saying the correct things about this is the relationship. I'm the customer. Make me feel good. I will applaud. The love's not real. It's obviously conditional. But what if you get your identity from your sport, playing quarterback, and are making life and death decisions about whether I should keep playing because my brain's not working right? And you say that compassion is being extended to him now, and I say it is not being extended to him.
It's being extended to him over his objection because he pushes back on the notion about his brain being scrambled.
He was asked yesterday, are you dealing with any injuries?
We just talked about this with hockey. Like, everything about it is incentivized.
Right. I'm just saying, like, the grace is such that we're extending something to him that the player himself is not extending to himself.
Yeah, he's like, come on, baby, French toast.
If the relationship is purely transactional, and you guys are all saying it's transactional, it's what have you done for me lately? As soon as you're not performing, you're a bum, get out of here. Then if I'm Tua, the only reason I'm putting my life on the line past all of these concussions is because I feel the love is real. And now you're telling me, oh, no, it never was real. You're like the Russian mail-order bride who's only with her husband because he's a multimillionaire, and now he's gone broke. So it's, I don't know. Melania?
Do you have the sound of me screwing that up? The sink is shipping.
I was confused.
Do you have anything that you
It's
did?
a confirmation from Home Depot that you get on your phone.
Finally, it's in stock.
Did you do anything creatively with me screwing up matriculating yesterday?
Dan, I have you saying matriculate.
Matriculate the ball down the field.
That's what I'm saying.
can
You guys
turn
kind of
that
just
into song.
you guys just moved on, and I was like, what?
Matriculate the ball down the field.
1, 2, 3, 4. Never take matriculate this Christmas. Never take matriculate this year. Who's a Santa, don't be late, 'cause Dan Le Batard's not speaking great. Never take matriculate this Christmas. Now fill Dan's stocking with books and pens this Christmas. And some hooked on phonics tapes to wrap around his ears. Send him an elf just to educate, so maybe his mouth won't miscalculate. But never take matriculate this Christmas. Everybody, never take matriculate this Christmas.
I thought you guys were going to help me age with grace.
You were wrong.
I don't think I'm wrong about this Tua thing, though, because if you allow me the starting point on 25 years of betrayal, emotional fan base, feels like it's being laughed at, was the winningest franchise in sports, dared to hope for a few minutes. And that player made them a national player for the first time in 25 years, where people were talking about them nationally because they were arguing about whether this could be. If that guy is the star of your team, you're telling me it's the same as Daniel Jones disappointing the Giants? You think it's the same thing?
I think it's the same, and I think like right now we're being hyperbolic. I think he goes away for 2 years and he's a welcome luminary and gets received warmly at Hard Rock Stadium for the things that he did on the field that were positive.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Well, you're representing one side of the spectrum as a journalist.
He's on the fan spectrum.
As a responsible
I don't
journalist.
like the insinuation.
Yeah, but I think he'll be making appearances for the club and it'll be fine.
He was better than Tannehill, and Tannehill would get if Tannehill came back, he would get
Tua's going to get a warm.
You think so?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Tua's going to get a warm reception in a couple years.
By far the best quarterback I've ever watched play for the Dolphins. which is terrible. No, but I realized yesterday, like my first connection to this show, just to show the mediocrity of the Dolphins for my entire lifetime, was Mike Ryan writing a song about Joey Hanos. It was sent in a group chat yesterday because they were talking about Darren Waller potentially playing quarterback instead of Quinn Ewers. Joey Hanos.
The fan base dared to care, and they're mad at him for it. And I don't blame them. And I think he speaks for it more than you do. I think that you don't care the way he does. You don't.
I definitely don't care.
But I'm saying
I don't
like,
care at all. I'm just a fly on the wall watching Dolphin fans
I know,
act like
but,
sports fans.
Yeah, but
I will say that I cared about Baker the man, and I thought he was wronged, and because it was tied to the Deshaun Watson thing, I left my fandom, and I'm still a Baker guy.
So Jeremy, let me get this straight. You don't think Gus Frerotte was killing? You don't remember when Gus Frerotte was out here?
No, I mean, my first quarterback memory for the Dolphins is Jay Fiedler. He's still my favorite.
Love Jay Fiedler.
I like Cleo Lemon.
Love Jay Fiedler.
You love Jay Fiedler?
What quarterback has had a nice breakup with this market over the last 25 years? Like, I think Tua is leaving. Yes, it's loud now, and people are pissed because it was a wasted season, a season of expectation, which, honestly, that's on them. Why would you expect this team to be good? You guys were the problem. This team was bad from the jump.
What do you think the correlation would be between me and Jeremy and Jay Fiedler?
Happy Chinooka.
You all love Anthony Mason.
Chad Henne?
I think that we have to do a fan spectrum. I think because I do think Zaz is on the fan spectrum. I think, and it's not a good way. It's an unhealthy way, and I think he speaks for the fan base. Mike's detached. Look, 20 years now, insider, booster. You know the things he cares about. Dolphins ain't one of them. So he's very comfortable telling you how Dolphin fans feel, and I would go to journalist Zaslow on that one because I'm telling you there's nothing that gets more applause than him crushing everybody. And he comes after Tua awfully hard. He's rage-filled, and he's getting nothing but applause for it. Like there hasn't been a dissenter, right? Everyone, have you had one person say, hey, take it easy on him?
99% have been on my side.
I didn't even tap into that for Jimmy Butler, and I love the Miami Heat. Love them. But Kyle Lowry brought this out of me.
Me too. Hated him.
Terry Rozier brought this out of me. Very few athletes bring this out of me.
So Matt Moore on Hard Knocks didn't do it for you?
You know what? Matt Moore was great. I loved Matt Moore because he wasn't Chad Henne.
I think that the anger of 25 years, the resentment of the fan base, you underestimate both how attached they were to a star figure and what that hope did to them and how betrayed they feel by him being the face of that hope. You told me we had another Marino. You told me after I loved Jay Fiedler as my best choice in 25 years that I had a quarterback.
Guts.
Chris Long is saying, I'll get a tattoo of Tua on me if that's a good quarterback and that wins the Super Bowl. And we planned a trip to Las Vegas that cost this company $500,000 because we thought the Dolphins were going to the Super Bowl that year.
That really played a role in making that trip?
Thought, they were 9-2.
Was that the year they scored like 70?
They were 9-2 and then lost to Tennessee at home on a Monday night game. They were 9-2.
Led by 14 early in the fourth that game.
Yeah, it was our watch party.
So that was Joey Harrington didn't do anything for you.
Chad Pennington did.
Go Ducks.
Actually, Ronnie Brown playing quarterback is really the best quarterback play
Remember,
I've seen.
that was when we learned Ronnie Brown's lefty.
Yeah, that's the best quarterback play I have seen as a Miami Dolphin fan, was Ronnie Brown running the Wildcat.
Tony was saying Will Levis reminded him of Dan Marino.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Dan's loud wrong about Bo Nix, by the way. He is Dan Marino.
I think you can put together 20. I'd like a top 5, top 25 list of best Dolphin moments. If you want to make the national audience laugh, best moments of the last 25 years, Ronnie Brown at quarterback is like in your top 5.
Wildcat game.
It's in your top 5
easily.
of the last
70-point
25
effort.
years.
And the comeback against the Ravens.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
that.
And that's why Tua, by the way, is the best we had, because he's 2 of those top 5 memories.
And the Kenyon Drake touchdown.
The win against the Bills like 3 years ago, the home game.
The Camarillo
when Ken
touchdown.
Dorsey crashed out.
Miracle in Miami.
Yeah, the Kenyon Drake.
I forgot
where
about it
Gronk was
because
the last line of defense.
I was on the sideline with Drew Rosenhaus at that moment.
I didn't remember it all that well because I was listening to that game on the radio, so I still don't know what happened.
Gronk, the last line of defense. That was great.
That was a good one, right? Is that top 5?
I think we
That's
got the
gotta
top
be.
5. That was pretty good.
For sure.
There have been so few moments.
Zaslow was listening to that game on the radio and didn't know what was happening until the 10-yard line of the Patriots.
Gave me nothing until they got to the 10-yard line.
2 words. Fitzmagic.
The throw against the Raiders.
Is dead.
The knuckleballers is dead now, correct? Completely dead. There's no one. Is there anyone throwing the knuckleball now?
Someone has to be throwing.
Yeah.
I would say Tim Wakefield was pretty
None of us
bad.
have one. We're just like, yeah.
No, there has to
There's
be.
got to be. Well, wait a minute. The knuckleballer didn't go extinct without anyone telling us.
As long as there's breath in my lungs, there's a knuckleballer out there.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. As long as there is breath in your lungs, will there be a knuckleballer out there?
There should be more because if you notice, I mean, I don't have any stats to back this, but I don't care. I'm going with it regardless. I would say that the position players that are pitching have a much better ERA than average pitchers do. Because they're all just going out there throwing the ball like 35 miles an hour, and the hitters are so confused that they just get under it, they pop up. Like nary a run is scored off of a position player. Sometimes, but not always.
I loved when baseball analysis was starting strong. I loved the people who would do the analytics on how a knuckleballer would screw up your hitters the next day. For the preparing for a knuckleball would screw you up the next day as well because you're sitting out there hitting those 45-mile-an-hour butterflies.
There's nothing that I hated more, like growing up watching the Marlins, than when Jamie Moyer was coming to play against them. And I don't even remember if he was a knuckleballer or if he could just only hit
it was just
75.
Slop. It was just slop.
He could
it wasn't
only hit
he
like
was not a knuckleballer.
72.
He was just old, and he threw croutons up
Anytime
there.
there was a knuckleballer or just an old man that could throw the ball really slow, I knew like this team can only hit fastballs, and this is going to be a long day and a long week because they're not going to be able to figure it out.
And it's frustrating because you're just seeing these meatballs go over the plate. You're like, how can you not deal with this? This is so slow. Hit the baseball. And yet Jamie Moyer had a 20-year career. 40. He was still pitching.
What is the ruling of the committee? Is Stugotz is nominated? I need some sort of formal ruling from the committee. He has nominated Joe Musgrove. Billy is passionately against. Chris, are you willing to give him horse status because horse status is before ace? Horse is not an ace.
Chris, before you answer, I have good news on the knuckleballer front. There is still one remaining. Mickey Janis of the Orioles is still throwing it. Okay?
The worst team in the league.
He's still out there, though, keeping the species alive.
It also
will not
seems
go
though
extinct.
Mickey Janis has only pitched one game in 2021.
Oh,
in Major League Baseball.
He's still trying.
Still breath in my lungs.
Yeah.
He is currently with the Chicago Dogs of the American Association of Professional Baseball, which I don't think is in Major League Baseball. So
it is extinct.
So it is extinct for now, yeah.
But extinct in the majors doesn't make it extinct as a
Hibernating, yeah,
species.
exactly.
This may surprise you, Dan, but there are only 33 pitchers who have ever thrown a knuckleball in a Major League game, according
that's
to
wrong.
Wikipedia.
That's
Which
wrong.
I was surprised how small that number was.
I don't think that's wrong, Billy. Why would you think that's wrong?
That's wrong.
Let's all name knuckleballers we can think of and see if
Well,
they're
no,
on
we'd
there.
never come up with 33 of them. 33 sounds about right to me. It's a terrifying way to make a living.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. Hell yeah. DraftKings! The crown is yours.
David Sampson is here with us. Nothing Personal is the name of the podcast, and I keep telling you to listen to it. He's developed an unusual connection with his audience that is seeing some humanity as he comes through a very difficult time and tries to do his show, which is better on sports business than any I've heard. And I will tell you, the Sporting Class with Pablo Torre Finds Out is the best sports business podcast that there is. If you listen to it, you will find more expertise in an hour than you will find anywhere else in podcasting. I don't think I have that wrong. I've listened to enough people in this business who don't know what they're talking about, David, that it makes me wonder, honestly, how often you're listening to people on television talking with expertise about sports business, and you're like, this person's an amateur. This person is speaking about this very poorly.
It is amazing what happens when people have no idea what they're talking about, but think they do, or they think they're journalists and they're not, and they have opinions that are based on the belief that they have, which isn't actually grounded in any reality. And then we sit there and decide, are we going to react to that? Are we going to say, no, that's not the case? And I spent too much of my career trying to explain to people what was real, and it turned a few people off, so I apologize for that.
Good thing we got nothing but journalists in this room right here, David.
Was that a shot at Zaslow? Was that a shot?
It's just funny. Like, Zaz, I love you, man. You're not a journalist.
My degree says otherwise.
Really? That's your rebuttal?
Clip it.
I know.
I win.
I want to be nice because Zaz has been super nice, so I'm having an issue because I'm not a journalist, and I don't know how to not show grace to people who are showing grace to me. But Zaz, I'm just going to escape my personal situation for 1 minute and say, just because you have a degree in journalism does not make you a journalist.
Are you a lawyer?
I am admitted to the bar, but I'm not a practicing lawyer.
If I said to you, David, are you a lawyer? Your answer is what? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, then.
God is
I have a law degree.
You should have been like, I'm not a practicing journalist.
Same here.
But if you're saying that, Zaz, then I'm good. If you're saying that you're not a practicing journalist, then I'm good.
All I say is I'm a journalist. And sometimes I do come in here and I report things. And you know what, Dan? A lot of times those are right.
He's been on fire. He's broken more news than you. He's had like 5 stories in the last 6 months that you haven't had, David. Like, he's been a newsbreaker.
I'm not a newsbreaker, Dan. Is this the first time you're listening to Nothing Personal? You'd say that you listen every day. I don't break news on Nothing Personal.
I'm just saying that as a he's got the degree you mentioned, and he breaks stories.
What were these stories?
I don't
Well, hold on. What's the last story you broke, Zaz?
Nico Harrison being fired?
He had it before anybody.
The day of.
No, you said he should get fired.
No. I said he's going to be fired. No.
He reported it as fact.
Okay.
Yep.
1.
No, he's got like 5 in the last.
Yeah. 1.
I also reported that Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green are not playing the game here, and everyone won a lot of money. I think Juju included.
That wasn't a report.
He did report that.
None of these are.
No,
but let's move on. 3.
Oh, we're still doing this?
He's got more. He's had.
Yeah, Dan keeps saying he got more. So far, 2 of them, not actual reports, but we keep moving.
Let me think about it.
He had some didn't you have the Florida coach first?
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, no, he totally had that. That was a Zaz exclusive.
I had Lane Kiffin going to LSU.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You were on the group chat.
How dare you?
He's a reporter. You guys are You guys are questioning his credentials. He's saying he's a journalist, and all of you. Anyway, all right. I could talk about this for a long time, but there's sports business stuff to talk about. And the Bears moving to Indiana. What are we doing there?
I want everyone to stay calm. The Bears are not moving to Indiana, but they're threatening. So page 1 of the new stadium playbook is when you're not getting the amount of money from the taxpayers that you want, you threaten to go somewhere. So the CEO of the Bears released an open letter to the fans yesterday saying the whole Arlington Racetrack Stadium that we told you was a go, actually, we can't get enough public money, so now we've got to look elsewhere, including Northwest Indiana, which is me running the Marlins saying, you know what, Miami, we're so angry, we're going to look in Broward. Like, that'll really get everyone's going. No, I threatened to move to Texas or Vegas or Oregon. You don't threaten to move to Northwest Indiana. But then the governor of Indiana came out and said, we are all in on getting the Bears here to Northwest Indiana. I laughed at the whole thing. The whole thing's crazy.
David, didn't you wear a cowboy hat in order to kind of like...
He did.
I did. I wanted people to think I was a Texan, a little 65-inch Jewish Texan. I had cowboy boots, too.
How effective is this move going to be? Because this is a page out of the Chiefs playbook, and the Chiefs are probably positioned even better because they're in a border town. Getting Kansas to throw public money at this, that makes Kansas feel like it's big time. It's a big league market now. So, like, how often are we going to see this, or is this just unique to the geography?
Oh, no, you want people fighting against each other as much as possible. And when you can have two different state legislatures who are each fighting to give you money, or a local municipality versus a state, really for teams, it's just dollars. And the more competition, the better. And so the interesting thing about the Chiefs is Kansas, it's like the person at the prom who is the last one, and he's just standing there, and then all of a sudden, in baseball, they used to be called slump busters. And so what that means is it's sort of last, and that's just what you're doing. That's what Kansas is to the Chiefs. It's a slump buster, and that's what Indiana is to the Bears. It's just not going to happen.
David, I have a number of things I want to throw at you at one time just to increase the degree of difficulty of what we're doing here. Can you find on your phone a best photo of you in cowboy hat, cowboy boots, as we play you stuttering earlier in the show as a professional broadcaster?
Okay.
And we put on the screen a guy eating spaghetti, a weird choice out of a bag at a recent Chicago game. Because spaghetti, what is the worst food I can put in a bag for you to say someone fat can't be doing that? I'm not saying this person is fat, that you and I, if we did this in public, Chris Cody, this would be a source of eternal shame, eating spaghetti right out of a bag. It's not something we've ever seen
Looks
before.
delightful, honestly.
As Amin asks you a business question, David, send us the photo over to Lewis of you in a cowboy hat and cowboy boots.
Well, first of all, the spaghetti out of a bag thing, me and Jeremy, that's an Always Sunny thing.
Yeah, what's your spaghetti policy?
Right. So I don't think of a fat person. I think of Charlie Kelly, moron, eating spaghetti out of a bag. But, David, I wanted to know, you say, oh, this is just posturing, and you try to pit communities against each other to get the money up. What did you think at the time? I know this is a long time ago, when the NBA was like, we're going to move this team to Oklahoma City out of Seattle?
Remember, I had some experience with Oklahoma City, and that is there was a minor league team there called the Oklahoma City 89ers. I didn't work for Jeffrey Lurie at the time, but I went to Oklahoma City and was a part of that city many, many times. And it was not a big league city by any stretch. It was a straight minor league town. And there was so much going on with the Seattle Sonics. And I was a fan back in the downtown Freddie Brown days, and then up toward Jack Sikma. And then Kevin Durant comes. But what happened is that team got sold to someone who it was clear they had an interest in moving to Oklahoma City. And it turns out it was an amazing move. It's one of the great dynasties potentially in NBA history. But now Adam Silver is bending over backwards to get a team back in Seattle. And the irony is the city of Seattle is going to pay more to get the team back than they would have paid to keep the original team there. And that's what I try to explain to cities all the time. So, no, Oklahoma City is not a big league city. But again, does it matter? Green Bay is not a big league city. And if you've got a big league team, I guess by definition, you're a big league city.
I'd like for you guys to come up with hypotheticals that either Chris or I might go to the Jake Paul fight. If I was in one of the good seats eating a food out of a bag, what would be the most embarrassing photo? I'm saying if I was doing spaghetti out of a bag, that whether it's a Always Sunny joke or not, it's simply something I cannot do in public. There's no way for me to eat spaghetti out of a bag.
Pudding. Particularly tapioca pudding.
Hands down. If you're eating pudding or mousse.
Out of a Ziploc?
Out of a Ziploc bag, yeah.
More disgusting than carbs in the middle of the night with sauce on them? Like, you guys got to be kidding.
At least it's a meal.
Spaghetti is
a pretty good visual.
It's a special. Chris, would you ever be photographed? Let's do that. Let's do that at the Jake Paul fight. Let's you and me go to the Jake Paul fight and just go with bags of disgusting food to eat.
What if it's lasagna?
I don't think you can do much worse
annoying.
than spaghetti. But Mike's got a business question for you here, David, because what's going on with the FIFA prices is interesting, and what's going on with the Jake Paul ticket prices or ticket discounts is interesting.
Well, let's stay with the Jake Paul thing since we're there already. There's emails going out, email blasts, 2-for-1 specials, ticket specials for Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. That's not good news, right? That means this thing is struggling. There's billboards saying low ticket alerts, and that's also a move and an indicator that there's actually not a low ticket alert.
Oh, wait, you're saying when the low ticket alert comes, that means that people pretend like at a restaurant where you put red, what's the damn name of it? I'm having a day here, Dan. The red ropes that indicate that it's exclusive. Velvet ropes.
Jesus.
And then you walk in the restaurant, you're like, dude, there's a million tables here. Why is there a line outside? Or when you're waiting to get to a club in Vegas, and by the time you get in, there's plenty of room on the dance floor. So I think that what we do when we're selling tickets and we're pretending that there is demand is we make up the demand. But when we're the promoter and it's actually our money, then I have no shame. If I need to get tickets moved that I know are not being moved, I'm going to go do a BOGO. I'm going to cut the prices because I know that $5 is better than $1. So it just depends on supply and demand. But Jake Paul hasn't experienced this yet, but it's very normal for any entertainment act, which is really what he is. It's just an entertainment act. He's not a boxer. He's just an entertainer. So it's very normal that you will do these things as demand and supply ebbs and flows.
Maybe clam chowder?
What kind of draw is this to the consumer? Hey, come see Jake Paul get pummeled. I do think that if they are indeed struggling to sell tickets like these specials suggest, maybe we should look at this as a business plan. Is this perhaps the end, or does Jake Paul require the tomato can to move tickets?
Well, he's a promoter now, as you know. He's smart about what he does. He's not just getting purses. He's actually taking it on both ends. And so when you get in that business, you are not going to have an A+ every single time, but you still promote the C pluses and the B minuses and the Bs. And the fact that he is participating in it on both sides makes a C+ still profitable. Just like in school, you get a C+, you get to move on to the next class. So I'm not worried about his marketability because he's already diversified his business interests so much that he's not a fighter. He is a business mogul, and that I have great respect for.
Ramen noodles?
Let's turn our attention to the FIFA World Cup. It appears as though FIFA bowed to the pressure of the European sports consumer. We've said several times, American consumers beaten down by the system and ticket fees and all that. In Europe, they have actual power, and they raised hell, and they actually brought about change. Does this say more about their power, though, or the lack of demand here in the United States that FIFA probably overestimated?
What change? Are you talking about the $60 tickets, like $500 per side for supporters?
The Arrowhead Stadium seat graphic is crazy. But I do think that FIFA overestimated what kind of demand there would be here, and I do think it correlates to the economy.
No, I don't think it correlates to the economy. I think it correlates to people have actual fear. For World Cup, you count on travel, and I think that there are people, especially after watching last night's presidential address, I would say that if I am from out of the country, I would probably have no interest in coming to our country right now, especially if what they're going to do is what they say they're going to do as it relates to 5 years of social media history and your electronic signature history in order to secure permission to come into the country. I would say that that would have a quashing impact. There is not enough local soccer interest in the United States with U.S.-born people to fill up any stadium anytime. So you do need people to travel, and my guess is that it is way less than they thought.
Chitlins?
Chris Cody, I need your help with an editorial decision. I'd like for you and Jeremy to stop fooling around. I have a number of topics that I need to get in front of David Sampson, but I don't know where to go because Trista wants to talk to him about the CBA negotiations. He's got strong opinions on what's going on with the Oscars and YouTube that I think would actually be something that people didn't know about everything that's changing in streaming, but you just told me that you have the sound of Jimmy Cephalo calling the Miami Miracle and Gronk fooling everybody by not being athletic at the goal line. And let's see if you guys can figure out what would you go to here among those three things, Chris?
Cephalo.
Let's hear the sound of Jimmy Cephalo trying to call what was a number of different laterals. Kenyon Drake at the end scores after about 6 passes to beat the Patriots at home on the last play of the game, and Gronk stumbles at the end.
Tannehill, last shot, back to throw. They throw it down. They try to pitch it, and they do to Parker. Parker pitches it. And it's Drake! 30, 20, Gronkowski's got a tackle! Oh, no way! He got in the end zone! Touchdown! The Dolphins win it! Unbelievable! Are you kidding me? That is unbelievable!
I don't believe what I just saw!
There are no flags! No flags! And the game is over! 69 yards! They've got to review it. The question is, would he have been able to tiptoe that sideline? I think he did.
Oh my God!
Get under the hood with Ed Morris, the official automotive group of the Miami Dolphin cheerleaders. Family owned and operated for over 70 years. Visit edmorris.com today.
Wait a minute.
I left that part in.
That call was great. Zaz has got it wrong.
I can't believe that was a 70-yard touchdown play, though.
That
It
play
only
happened-
picked up around like yard 25.
You're surprised they were ranked last on awful announcings? Local NFL broadcast
Zaz,
team?
I think Zaz has got this wrong.
No, it was not. Like, they didn't give any details other than saying pitch to Parker and now Drake. Like, they're not giving any details.
And then,
really.
I thought it was spectacular, especially the Ed Morris, of course.
If that's radio, how can you say I can't believe what I just saw? We can't see it. We're listening to it. If you're Joe Buck, you can say it because we're watching it on TV, what Kirk Gibson's done. But on radio, obviously we're not seeing it. So don't you tell me that you can't believe what you can't. That was the worst call I've ever heard.
No, I love it, David. He says, I can't believe what I just saw. What did you see? Tell me. No, I know.
Journalist Zaz reported that all that call was when he was driving around listening on the radio was Cephalo saying something happened at the 10-yard line. And that's not what that call was.
Look, I thought that call was very unclear. I actually don't know the play you're talking about, and I still don't know the play.
Okay. So,
that's an interesting
all
way
right,
to
so-
gauge it
so
because
what-
he has no idea what we're talking
All
about.
right.
Like, I'm already wrapping my brain around this is the miracle of Miami, and it's like a huge like last play. But David's approaching this as like you're just playing it for him. I understand how he doesn't know what happened.
You know what? I'm now going to ask him to recreate what he thinks happened based on that call. Tell me what you think happened on that call since you don't know the play we're talking about.
So it sounded like there was some sort of either an interception return at the end of a half or the end of a game, and it sounded maybe like a lateral, and then 30, 20, 10. So then they screamed, so I assume there was a touchdown, but I don't know if they won a game or if they tied a game or if it was a playoff game or a preseason game. So I don't know the players involved at all. I didn't recognize any names.
The interception would explain why Gronkowski's out there better than what actually happened.
Let me try this again, David. It's the end of an NFL football game that's just been decided. I'm going to play it for you again here, including with the advertisement, which is the funniest thing about the entire thing. It's my favorite part about listening to the local college broadcasts on Sirius XM. The local furniture store that's sponsoring the 20-yard line.
I also love the start of it. He is like could care less at the beginning of this.
All right.
Tannehill.
All right.
drop back.
No. So this is the end of the game, David, and you're going to hear a couple of names. Tell me what happened here at the end of the miracle in Miami.
Tannehill, last shot, back to throw. They throw it down. They try to pitch it, and they do to Parker. Parker pitches it. And it's Drake! 30, 20, Gronkowski's got a tackle! Oh, no way! He got in the end zone! Touchdown! The Dolphins win it! Unbelievable! Are you kidding me? That is unbelievable!
I don't believe what I just saw!
There are no flags! No flags! And the game is over! 69 yards! The question is, would he have been able to tiptoe that sideline? I think he did.
Oh, my gosh.
Get under the hood with Ed Morris, the official automotive group of the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders. Family owned and operated for over 70 years. Visit edmorris.com today.
Did he mention?
Okay.
Did he mention Kenny Stills caught the initial pass?
No.
No.
All right. Yeah, all right.
So they're at the 31-yard line, and Tannehill does a Hail Mary, but it's not as far as he can go. He does, like, I would say, maybe a 20-yard completion, and somebody catches it and then laterals it to somebody else who goes down the sideline and scores. And I'm showing my ignorance here. I thought Gronkowski, I was thinking Brady's tight end, but that can't be because it's got to be the defense of a team. So I'm not thinking straight of who the defender was, but apparently there was a defender who could not push the Dolphin player out of bounds, and Ed Morse is a sponsor.
All right, I just watched the play. Of course. If you listen back to it, you would think that Devontae Parker caught the pass. You don't know how far that pass went. He did not catch the pass. Kenny Stills caught the pass, lateraled it to Devontae Parker, who then lateraled it to Kenyon Drake. And Bill Belichick, the greatest head coach of all time, had Rob Gronkowski, his tight end, as a last line of defense, as a knock-it-down kind of guy, expecting, I guess, an 80-yard pass from Ryan Tannehill.
You can find so many funny sounds in that. Please find all of them. I think we have some disagreement here, though, David, on how it is that you've been talking about the WNBA collective bargaining agreement. So, Trista, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I just saw The Athletic reported, David, that the WNBA PA is countering, and they asked for 33% of a revenue split. Now I think it's down to about 30%. I asked Nafisa Collier at this unrivaled event in the middle of the WNBA All-Star weekend what percentage they wanted, and we now finally found out what that was. It seems like this is getting contentious, but I guess to you, what's the percentage that you think gets this deal done?
Oh, I don't think Adam Silver has any interest in pegging it to a percentage at all. And Adam Silver addressed the media during the League Cup final in Vegas and said that he'll get involved if they want him to. But here's the surprise. He's been involved from the beginning. What he was saying is, will I go to the actual table? You don't need the commissioner of the NBA to be at this table at any time. But what they've done is they've extended the deadline first by 30 days, 40 days. So it's been a total of 70 days, which all you're doing is delaying a work stoppage. You want to get to that work stoppage because that's a legal term of art. You want to get to some sort of lockout or strike so then it can go to the next stage of these negotiations. But the biggest misunderstanding here is that the players in the WNBA want to have a pegged revenue number the way they have it in the NBA. And Adam Silver is saying no because the NBA owners are saying no, because that's not taking into account all of the money that the WNBA owners need to profit and take off the table to pay down debt that has been accruing over the decades of losses. So that is why they're not having a meeting of the minds on any percentage, which is why the NBA is offering minimum salaries increasing like up to $1 million, because then you can absolutely chart and express what your expenses will be and then what your profits will be.
So, David, the reports are, I think the WNBA's stance is 15%. There is a percentage they're pegging it to. It's 15%. But the way they're getting around it is by saying, okay, and we'll have higher maximums for the top-tier players. Mm-hmm. But also within that, we're going to take away some of the benefits, because all of these proposals up till now have had, well, this is 30% of revenues minus the benefits paid out like housing and transportation and all that. So what they're trying to say is, hey, we'll get rid of housing, but we'll have the max salary be higher. And I was just interested, in your experience, how many times do leagues do that, where it's like, I'm going to try and cater to the elites because that's a big headline, and this is going to screw over the constituency?
No, it's funny. The union tends to do that more than we do, but we just keep a piece of paper and we put a value to everything. So we know the exact price per team to establish housing for the players. We know the exact price per percentage of ERISA benefits that we would give, which are retirement benefits. We know what it means for every team's payroll if the minimum is $250,000 instead of $150,000. So we're just trading off a column during CBA negotiations, where if we give this, we want that back. And what the owners always say is that they want to come out ahead on their columns. They want to get more than they give. So that's why there's no specific landing point to any issue during a negotiation, because all the issues are intertwined and you tend to settle everything at the end, and that's when an agreement comes. But until that point, you've actually agreed to nothing. Well, the truth is you agree to a bunch of stupid stuff that you get out of the way when negotiations first start, and then you get an issues list of like 50 items that are all negotiated sort of together because they move in lockstep. So you're really trying to get a landing spot for tons of issues, not just housing or minimums or tagging a percentage of revenue.
If the players are not going to move on a revenue split versus derive revenue share off of a fixed number, what is your opinion on what happens?
Maybe the end of the WNBA. The players will move. There's not going to be a fixed number. It doesn't make sense to me for the WNBA to demand that, for the players to demand that right now. I understand. The biggest thing they did wrong, they said this is their moment. And so they've put a lot of pressure on themselves to make huge changes in the collective bargaining agreement because this is their moment. What you try to do is make incremental benefits through the course of multiple agreements. And so I don't think they should have gone for everything they're going for right now because they put themselves in a corner where they feel like they have to get it or it's like a major loss.
What did you say on the front end of this?
He said the end of the WNBA.
What are you saying is going to happen if...
let's be clear, Dan. People are not talking about this enough. We talked about it on the sporting class. And obviously, you know John Skipper's involvement in Unrivaled, but you also have talked about what Project B is. You understand there are players who are getting paid multi-millions of dollars to go play in another league in another country. This is the moment. If you had any ability to invest and you wanted to start a league to compete with the WNBA, this is the time. Every player is a free agent. All of them want money and need money. If you have a well-capitalized and well-funded business, the way Project B may be, that could be the end of the WNBA. And I promise you that Adam Silver is thinking about that, and the players are thinking about that.
How real is that? How real is what you're saying? How real is it to be possible, the idea that because you're meeting a moment where profound asks are being made of a business by a group that has never been stronger than it is right now about asking for money in a culture where it will be very unpopular if the WNBA does what you're saying, how probable is that?
It'll be unpopular if the WNBA folds. Unpopular to who? To the large majority of the... I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. If what you're saying that there have been expansion fees paid and they're trying to expand and they've got broadcast deals that were totally pinned to the NBA deals, is that what you mean by unpopular? What I'm telling you is that if the players get too greedy, it will be the end of the WNBA. That's not the end of the world for them because they have options.
I don't hear anyone saying, though, that we're on the precipice of it sort of collapsing and needing to reinvent itself. I haven't heard that anywhere.
It's just because people are not actually paying attention to what's real about this negotiation because they believe that this is their moment because of all the great press around Caitlin Clark and the excitement of the WNBA. And I am not in any way impugning the right of players to make as much money as they can because if you can go overseas, if you can go to Unrivaled, if you can go make a living and it's a better living, go make it. It's like on any business. If you can make more money at the Ringer, people are going to go to the Ringer. That's how it goes in life. And in the WNBA, if the players can make more money elsewhere, they're going to go elsewhere. That's what's going to happen.
Too soon.
Seemed like a very specific example.
Too soon.
I don't think it's too soon or too much.
The joke you made in the middle there, it's too soon.
Small.
No,
So
okay,
small.
no, it's too soon.
Very specific.
Yeah, it was too specific. Give me a date. Predict it now. tell me when this is going to happen, because it sounds to me like you're predicting it's going to happen because you know business and you know the problems involved with. We think we're worth more, and this is the moment to capitalize on more, and we've never been stronger as a movement. Not just WNBA League, but a women's movement. We will get our worth. You know where that can collapse with optics and everywhere else when the pressure of this rises. Give me a date.
I'm telling you right now that there is not going to be an agreement before the new year, before this extra extension, which ends January 7th, I believe. I think there are more moves to be made by both sides, but an agreement is not a guarantee. And if the Players Association believes that Adam Silver is going to cave, they are wrong. I can't give you a date because it's not even journalistically proper to give a date, because this negotiation could go on for 3 months, 6 months. It could go on for 2 years negotiating with a players union. We've seen that in sports. You just don't know. But I would be very careful being cocky if I'm the WNBA Players Association. But finding optionality matters, and that's what the women have been doing. So I give them credit for that. But I'll tell you, owners don't care. If the WNBA folds, they will be just fine.
What is the movie you're reviewing this week?
Only if anyone's watched it, the Alex A-Rod documentary. I assume you did, Dan.
I have failed to watch it, but only because I learned that he had some hand in being able to control the content, and therefore I thought it would be manipulated, so I didn't bother to watch it.
So does that mean you didn't watch The Last Dance?
I did watch The Last Dance.
So good.
During
So why-
COVID, there was nothing else going on.
You'd watch The Last Dance, but not Alex v. A-Rod, when there's way more Miami in Alex v. A-Rod than in The Last Dance.
Was it good?
I found it enjoyable. I enjoyed the fact that I could speak to him about it both before and after I watched it and understand what the game is. And the game has been...
What are we doing here?
The game has been a very calculated, planned, not surprising, a desire to rehabilitate an image, and everything has happened exactly in step. This is a person, A-Rod, who was loathed within baseball circles, just despised. And think about where he's come. He is now the face of on-air talent on a network, on Fox, on the biggest MLB partner. He is now an owner of a team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, something that he's wanted to be an owner since the beginning of his post-playing career.
That's how you got $1.2 billion off of Jeter, is by pitting him against A-Rod.
Well, they hate each other so much. It's unreal. And when they pretend to like each other on Fox, it always makes me laugh. Like, does anyone believe that they're being jocular? That makes me laugh. But in any case, yes, A-Rod wanted to buy the Marlins, and so did you see the Jorge Mas tweet about buying the Marlins after Inter Miami won, Mike Ryan?
I did not.
Someone asked Jorge Mas to buy the Marlins after he brought the championship to Inter Miami, the League Cup, MLS Cup, and he wrote, "That ship has sailed," or "that time has passed." And I smiled because Jorge Mas was a bidder of the Marlins, and he did not win the day that day because it just wasn't the right time for him and his family. But I'm smiling at all of the people who were involved in Marlins who are now involved in other things. And A-Rod has moved on his way, and so has Jorge Mas. The only one who is not able to move on, of course, is Jeter, because he shouldn't have been there in the first place. So it's all an interesting thing. The documentary is worth watching, especially to remind people of how low Alex fell and how high he has climbed, and just his personal story. People may not remember. He was maybe the second greatest baseball player I ever, well, certainly one of the top 5 greatest baseball players I ever saw play.
Shepherd's pie?
I have not seen David Sampson smile like that in a few months. The Jeter shouldn't have been there in the first place. What crept out sinisterly from behind that beard at enjoying Jeter shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Well, I'm right.
But it's sinister. The glee you got from it was super unusual. I haven't seen you smile.
He's a bad person, and he knows it. Everyone knows it. He's totally fake. And everyone, it's so crazy because with Jeter, everyone's just over him. Just
Not
that
everyone
he's-
knows he's a bad person, David. Like, what are you saying?
People who are around him know it.
No one,
Like,
no one
they
thinks
do.
that, David.
You're wrong, Dan. I'm sorry, but you're just wrong on this. You really are. Yeah, but that's okay. Like, you're not being. A
You
journalist,
think that you think the public knows as a
captain?
As a fact?
No, I said people who fans don't know athletes. You know, they say don't meet your heroes. Fans don't know players. They know players on the field. Zaz, you don't know Tua. What, you've interviewed him 5 times? Whatever. You don't know the first thing about him. No one knows anything about Derek Jeter or Andy Pettit or Jorge Posada or any of them. And Dan, you're included. The only one you know about are people who are your friends. You know about Ricky Williams or Pat Riley because you're friends. What, you cover the Marlins, so all of a sudden you know about these people off the field?
Chili?
Does everyone know? Put it on the poll, Juju, please. Does everyone know that the captain, Derek Jeter, is a bad person?
I didn't say everyone. I said those who know him. Why do you misquote me for purposes of your show? Trying to get clicks?
David,
I didn't say everyone.
David, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but you did say everyone.
I didn't say everyone.
Uh-oh.
Play it back. You guys are so good at playing stuff
Yeah,
back.
we'll play this back
you got
for
the
you.
stutter back in like 3 seconds.
Professional broadcaster David Sampson. First time I've heard you speechless. I've never heard you speechless before. Did Zaslow get you?
Yeah.
That was Zaslow that stumped you.
It's hard to win a debate against a real journalist.
Checkmate.
Real
The
quick,
thing I love
Sampson.
about Zaz, Dan, is
Yep.
that he actually is paying attention. He's so knowledgeable and fun to play with on and off the air. But he did render me
Hey, yo.
speechless with his conversation about being a journalist. I was just laughing.
Yeah, me as well. Do me a favor here, though. Give me the best of what you've got on people not understanding what the Oscars moving to YouTube. I will tell people, last couple of episodes of the Sporting Class, everything that's happening with Warner Brothers, with Netflix, like everything that's about to hit the consumer that the consumer doesn't understand, they're about to get mad about. Can you condense it for me in a couple of minutes?
Yeah, that show came out today. We recorded that, and John Skipper, Pablo Torre, and myself did a Sporting Class all about the Warner Brothers discovery and what's happening with Paramount and Skydance and what's happening as well with Netflix. It is a fascinating business story where there is a hero and a villain, and it happens to be the same person, and his name is David Zaslow, and he is going to enrich himself tremendously, but I explained that, and then John Skipper, who is plays a very funny character, except it's really him in terms of his position on these things, forgetting the fact that he was the evil empire at one point, and now he's just full of love and happiness. And so it's a show explaining what's happening with Netflix and Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery. So it's well worth watching. Now, in terms of the Oscars, I didn't get to talk about that, but we should get Adnan here. But listen, YouTube is a network television property now, period. It's okay to watch. It used to be, oh, you're only on YouTube? I don't know about you guys. Did you ever say, oh, I used to be on ESPN, now I'm on YouTube? Did you feel a little shame in that?
YouTube's been very good to us.
Oh, yes. You shouldn't. It's the opposite of shame. When you get to say you're on YouTube and that you make a living on YouTube, it means that you've made it. And that's just different than it was 5 years ago. Forget 10 years ago. The Academy Awards are going to be streamed exclusively on YouTube. Unthinkable since Disney acquired it in 1976. But ABC and regular network television, it's done. It doesn't even matter anymore except for live sports. What YouTube can do for the Academy Awards, the award show can go 4 hours. It can go 8 hours. It can go 2 hours. You can swear. You can get naked. You can do whatever you want on YouTube. And it's going to be so positive for movies and for movie lovers. And people viewed it as a booby prize to be off ABC and on YouTube. And I viewed it as an amazing evolution of the Academy Awards, bringing gravitas and bringing a new audience into it. I was so excited, but the deal doesn't start until 29. It's going to start earlier. Disney's going to walk away before then. Wait for it.
You can't get naked on YouTube.
He's right. I tried.
Well, you can just wear like a banana sack and a pasty. You can.
Put it on the poll, please. Can you wear a banana sack and a pasty on YouTube? Also, David, I'm sorry to do this to you, but while you weren't multitasking and getting us the photo of you in cowboy hat and cowboy boots, Zaslow did uncover the incriminating evidence as a journalist that you did absolutely say everyone in the world knows that the captain is a bad person. Zaslow just gave me this sound while you were talking. I haven't seen
He's
you
a
smile.
bad person, and he knows it. Everyone knows it. He's totally fake. And everyone, it's so crazy because with Jeter, everyone's just over him.
I'm sorry, Dave. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
Checkmate.
You just got journoed.
I just got absolutely journoed.
I'm sorry, David. Nothing personal is the name of the podcast.
I guess you're going to have to just go with that.
In-flight magazines.
In-flight magazines. Slayed the pandemic. Traveling again. Big bird up. But something's different. I look in the seat pocket in front of me, and all I see is that cardboard pamphlet about the plane that nobody reads, the drink menu nobody needs, and the barf bag. Where's my in-flight magazine? Where did it go? Joni was right. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot, and then stole my in-flight magazine. These staples of Americana predated even Greg Cody. Pan Am Airways published the first IFM in 1940. Now the high-flying mags are disappearing like donuts in a press box. Southwest Rag, augustly called simply The Magazine, is gone now. Delta Sky, gone. American Way, gone. Retired after 55 years. Alaska and Emirates Airlines, too, gone. Airline magazines falling from the sky one by one. Some others, like United Hemispheres, are now digital only. Blame the pandemic. COVID killed the in-flight magazine, or rather gave airlines an excuse to make a cutback like businesses did with remote meetings where the office buildings used to be. But more than that is to blame. The digital era stampeded the helpless handheld mag. In-flight entertainment and mobile browsing happened. Airlines have even claimed noble reasons for discontinuing their magazines, like how removing all of them makes planes lighter, which saves on fuel. Sounds like malarkey. Hurtling cabins once were full of rattling newspaper pages held wide. Then those disappeared, and then I was the last flyer still leafing through an in-flight magazine while everybody else was softly chuckling at a movie or listening to music with earbuds. I miss every bit of the airline magazine, the greeting from the airline president, the Penn and Teller at the Rio ad, the dating and hair restoration ads, and the one inviting me to invest in a home care franchise, things to do in Minneapolis, the list of top 10 steakhouses and America's best plastic surgeons, the crossword puzzle inevitably half-finished and poorly by a previous seat occupant. Oh, and the feature story on Southwest Customer Service Agent of the Month. You can't get that anywhere else. Most of all, I miss, anybody else remember Sky Mall? Oh, my gosh. It was Amazon before Amazon, only at 30,000 feet. Talk about built-in marketing. Bored flyers stuck in a cabin for 3 hours slamming cocktails are liable to buy anything, which Sky Mall offered. I'll never forget the time, after 3 or 4 deep eddies, I accidentally bought a life-size Bigfoot garden gnome for $2,250. Airlines, I will gladly pay extra if the bag I check is a pound too heavy. I'll put up with your cancellations, and with a hot meal being replaced by a 1-ounce bag of pretzels. Just please, give me back my in-flight magazine. See, I never played that Sudoku puzzle, but I sure did like knowing it was there. I'm Greg Cody, and that's how it was back in my day.
The game has changed. Weed is legal now with Stugotz and Greg Cody.
I'll tell a story if it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
When I first took the first edible I ever took was in New York, and at the time I was breaking the law. Okay, so now you can feel good about telling your story. And the guy told me, "Hey, just eat half of this." And so I ate half, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I didn't feel anything. and he begged me just to eat half. And he did say on the front end it might take a while, but I was impatient.
Right.
Because when you smoke marijuana, you get instant gratification. And waiting an hour or two for something to kick in was not something I was familiar with.
Right.
So I ate another half, which became a full cookie. And 60 minutes later, I don't remember anything. I woke up the next morning on the floor in my wife's uncle's apartment because Abby had to throw me into a cab with her, and she took me home. And I was curled up in the fetal position, and I don't remember a thing after the second half of that cookie.
Wow.
This was last Wednesday. So, with that being said, feel free to share your story of you having 4 cookies in Colorado.
Yeah, I wolfed them down. It was 3 or 4. I didn't know
3
how.
or 4?
Yeah,
You don't ask?
Down.
You don't
Well,
say, hey, person I'm purchasing this from, how fast should I do these?
The guy at the thing, and it was one of those official things where they dress like pharmacists in there, and they sold me a vial of edible cookies, and it was in Colorado, so it's 100% legal. And my wife and I are getting ready to go to dinner. We popped open the thing. She had a nibble of one, and I ate, I think, probably 2 or 3. And it hit me by the time we got to that restaurant.
I just love how terrified you are of this conversation. You keep throwing in there like it's perfectly legal what I did.
To be fair to Greg, this has not exactly been, the most up and up thing to talk about for 60 years of his life.
Right, exactly.
This is a fairly recent phenomenon. We just go, oh yeah, everything's fine now.
No, and I don't, we did that because we were vacationing in Colorado, and I wanted to
Stop giving qualifiers.
I have to give a qualifier.
Greg, more qualifiers.
It feels better when you're doing it legally. It
right.
does.
I'm gonna. I don't smoke anymore. I mean, I don't do that. I did in
Totally
college.
lying, trying to make them feel better. I mean,
Thank you. Thanks for that.
getting away with it was much more fun. I mean, seriously.
I had my day doing that. So
we used to get dime bags at a place in Hillside, Queens. It was called the Tie Door. Oh, was it fantastic? You never saw the guy. You just saw his hand. You would see his
like
hand.
a first touch in a marriage?
Yeah, you would open up this little sliding door in Hillside, Queens. You would see his hand. He would see your hand. You'd never see each other. He'd put weed in your hand. You would put money in his hand, and that was it. That was a transaction. It was great. Called the Tie Door.
Weed first, then money?
Money first.
Oh, there
well,
you go.
it was like you would do it at the same time, but occasionally.
So you'd see both hands.
Yes, correct.
Once every 6 months, you'd hear stories of like some guy sticking his hand and then like, getting arrested on the spot. The cuffs right on the wrist. That's all you see, the wrist, and then.
I always wondered, is today going to be the day? Because I went every day. And it wasn't far from my house. But is today the day that it's going to be a cop on the other side of that door? I did. I feared that every single day. But it didn't stop me from going out there every single day. Hop, skip, and a jump.
Is that fear worth it?
Yes. The fear is what made it. Greg's right. Now you walk in, they're dressed like they're experts,
Right.
pharmacists.
Yeah.
It made me a little nervous. I mean, more nervous than meeting a guy at a tie door, never seeing him, just exchanging things in our hands.
That's right.
I mean, what happened to you after eating 3 or 4? Like, can you?
Back to you.
Yeah.
we went to a restaurant and spent $300 on appetizers, and
Hell yeah.
And I remember, I'm not a fast talker. If anything, I'm a slow, deliberate talker who says a lot of ums and ahs.
Right.
My wife at that restaurant accused me of speed talking, of talking faster than I ever had in my entire life, which I wasn't even conscious of. So yeah, it hit me very hard.
All right.
Enjoyable though. I have no idea what I ordered for my main course.
3 or 4, though, man.
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't do cocaine?
No, they were edible.
I've never had
cookies.
someone really high and be like, "This, you shut up, dude."
I know. Believe me, that was new to me too. Because normally you're talking like a 1970s, rock DJ.
Or is it possible that life had slowed down so much for your wife that by
It
comparison.
seemed like you were-
you were
Right.
talking normally, but to her you were talking at an incredibly fast rate of
Could be.
speed.
That's possible. That's a possibility.
Oh
That's a
my
good point.
god!
Did the waiter walk up and you're like, I ate edibles because you're just like terrified?
No. Believe me.
It's legal here. I'm on vacation.
Believe me, I'm sure he sensed it. Working in that state and seeing somebody in that state, I'm sure he sensed something.
How much was the bill that night?
Oh gosh, I think we ordered a nice bottle of wine.
Sort of segueing from some of the stuff going on in the real world to the other things that we talk about silly every day. Like we have still not talked about what happened with Rob Reiner because I had nowhere to put it in us trying to do nonsense. And I will just tell you that David Sampson is going through an impossibly hard time. I wouldn't wish what he's going through on anybody that I cared about ever. It's the hardest thing. And in a recent episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out, Mike Schur and Joe Mandy are auctioning off a hat made by Mandy to raise funds for St. Jude's for Sampson's daughter. And if this audience, there's 7 days left in the auction, wants to help with, David Sampson is trying to do a good thing at an impossibly hard time. And he's trying to raise funds for St. Jude's. There's a man who's run on 7 continents in 7 days to raise money. He's an impossibly strong and willful man, and what he's going through is the hardest thing. So if you want to help Sampson's daughter, St. Jude's, people going through difficulties with illness, ptfo.betterworld.org. There's 7 days left in the auction, ptfo.betterworld.org. And Mike Schur has broken his feud with David Sampson. That was a real thing. Mike Schur has no use for David Sampson's worldview. David Sampson wanted his number because he's like, I can win anybody over. And Schur's like, don't ever give him my number. Nobody give him my number. I never want to talk to that person like that. I don't like what he represents in sports labor. And Mike Schur, because of what David Sampson is going to, is trying to help raise money for St. Jude's and for David Sampson. And none of the money will go to Sampson, obviously. Sampson is actually very giving with his money. So
Helwani said something similar last time he was here, too. I was very touched by it.
Ariel Helwani also broke his feud with David Sampson as well. Yeah, Helwani's in town for this fight. And I wanted to ask you guys, I've got a bit of a dilemma in that I kind of want to go to this fight and I kind of don't want to go to this fight, because the last time that I went to an MMA event here and Trump came in, I felt really alone in my own city with everything that was about the worst parts of Miami that I don't want to be around. But I kind of want to be ringside. And so what do I do? Because
You should go. You go. You go and you bring your bag of
shepherd's pie.
Yeah, there you go.
God, I love shepherd's pie.
You think shepherd's pie is worse than spaghetti? Like, spaghetti is so bad, guys. You guys are really under.
No, but I could see like a little pea falling onto the floor and like rolling away.
You guys are doing spaghetti different than I'm doing spaghetti, though, because you're just doing it red sauce. Like, I can make it like a fettuccine or anything in that family and
Chicken
make
wings
it
would be
really
funny.
more
You
disgusting.
can't make a spaghetti
Just pulling
fettuccine.
chicken wings out of a bag would be
You
funny.
can't. You make spaghetti fettuccine, it's just fettuccine. Yeah.
Whatever. Those noodles covered in an even creamier sauce than a red sauce, I can make a spaghetti even more fattening. You will not be surprised.
Oh,
by
you mean
that.
Alfredo?
The red sauce pops, though. That's the problem. You see it, and it does that little stain on the side of the plastic. That's why whenever you put spaghetti in Tupperware, it's ruined forever.
I would have a hard time eating the spaghetti at the game out of the plastic bag because I eat spaghetti with a fork and a spoon.
Whoa!
Yeah, I gotta tie up
worst.
the noodles.
The worst.
Fancy.
So I wouldn't be able to do it.
What about Jell-O?
Is that the worst? You think it's the worst? He's just doing it neatly, so it doesn't.
Just get over yourself. If I see someone twirling pasta with a spoon at the end of it, get over yourself.
I have to do the spoon.
You guys think he's eating pasta wrong by using the spoon?
You're
to
not
help
better
him
than
with
me.
the
You're not better than me.
He's eating it aristocratically.
Cleaner than
You can't wear that outfit and then also
Zagaki.
eat that way.
Zagaki.
Is there a proper way to eat spaghetti? Like, is there a...
Oh, definitely.
The spaghetti with the spoon, that's how you're supposed to eat it if you are someone who doesn't wear a Roman Reigns t-shirt to your anniversary dinner.
You know what an alpha move is? Bringing scissors.
I'm really bad. My family, I'm really bad. I've gone through 57 years of my life not knowing some very basic thing about table manners. For example, Mike Schur was actually the one who showed me this the other day. I was unaware until a month ago that you put your credit card in the bill at the top to tell the waiter that that's where you put the credit
What do you
card.
think the little flap was there
What do you
for?
think that little pocket was there for?
Listen, there are 1,000 things you guys would be surprised that I don't know about very simple table manners. And I'm asking you genuinely, how do you properly eat spaghetti? If I were to eat at a formal dinner with royalty, what is the correct way to eat spaghetti?
Out of a bag.
Dan, all your years, I'm just as an adult, you go out to eat, whether you went to Chili's or you went to Prime or whatever, anything in between. They hand you the bill. Is there no intellectual curiosity of you when you open it up? What is this plastic pocket at the top?
I don't admit this with anything except shame and embarrassment.
How would the server know that you're ready to pay?
You guys are properly shocked. I too was shocked to learn this a month ago.
I'm not shocked that you didn't know. I'm asking you, the millions of times you opened up the bill and you saw that plastic thing at the top. What did you think about it?
Never noticed it. Never noticed. The receipt I've noticed, the plastic thing at the top, never noticed that one of those was there for me. I put the credit card in the thing and I put it away from where it is that I'm eating. That's how I've always told the waiter that the bill is ready to be taken. I have never once noticed that flap or used that flap.
That's wild.
Are we done here? Are we done making me feel judged
Your
about
lack
this? I admit something to you. It's.
Give us another one. What else do you do?
How do you eat spaghetti?
Doesn't know how to eat spaghetti.
I know you guys seize on the
You
piranha.
twirl the fork. You twirl the fork. You put your mouth. You bite. You lean over the
You're
plate
gonna
so that
teach
the
me
access
like
falls.
an animal.
You're going to teach me.
Yeah, I'll teach you.
Let's get some spaghetti in here. Have Zaz demonstrate.
Do you want to go to this fight? But I'll only let you go if we spend the entire time eating things out of bags that are disgusting that could be on the internet forever. I'm not going with you otherwise.
Okay, but you have to sneak it in. They're not going to let you carry it. You're going to put it under your shirt. What are you
This is
going to do?
Dan Le Batard. What you talking
they'll
about?
They'll let us do what we want at this fight. Tickets aren't selling the way you think they are. If we go, this is a see or be seen thing, and I don't want to be seen by these particular people, and then I'm going to be sitting there for 4 hours because the thing's not going to happen till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Can I bring the trophy? The Battle Court trophy.
Don't even ask me.
Do you guys want to? Who would want to go sit next to me at this fight? Because I am genuinely. I don't want to go. The only reason to go is to be seen at this fight.
I'll go.
What time again is the main event going to be?
It'll be at 1 o'clock in the morning.
So you don't want me to go?
Dan, I'll go. I'll go, but I have to wrap myself in a flag, and it's not the American flag.
Oh, I get it.
Thank you.
I'm asking you guys for genuine advice on this because, first of all, my wife learned this morning that I demand on paying for tickets, that I can't take tickets for free. I won't take
Neither
tickets
does
for free.
Zaz, journalist.
You're for real? You're one of these people?
Yes.
Wow.
Because you're a journalist.
Big J.
Used to be.
He
Yeah.
told me, I'm very deep into my ESPN career, you're not supposed to accept free tickets. I'm like, the hell I'm not.
Yeah, but my wife learned this morning because I insist on paying for the tickets. And my question to you guys
Only for
is,
sporting events. Like concerts you would
no,
take.
anything. I can't. Well, the Heat run that facility. I can't take concert tickets from the Heat.
Conflict of interest. How is he supposed to be an unbiased journalist when he's getting all these freebies?
Why am I explaining this to you as a journalist?
Because I love free shit. Come on.
Well, then. So you just take everything?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Ask me twice.
That's so radio. I'm asking you guys for advice here because I genuinely had the conversation. It's my birthday week and I wasn't able to celebrate it Tuesday. I postponed it so that I could spend this time with my wife. I don't actually want to go to this thing. The only reason to go to it, and it's going to be expensive because I have to pay for the tickets. The only reason is to be seen at an important event in Miami. There's no other reason to go for it. And I don't like the people physically who are going to be surrounding me.
It sounds like a pretty easy decision. Don't do it.
You're curious.
No, you gotta go.
You've been curious about this fight. Don't you want to get up close?
Well, I want to see him get knocked out.
And also, Dan, you owe it.
It's the only reason to go is to see him lose badly in the first round because he shouldn't be in the ring with this person.
If you don't finish the spaghetti in the bag and he gets knocked out, you stay in your seat until you finish eating.
You let everyone walk out, get up and walk out around you as you sit there and
It's
just
4
slurp it up.
hours. It's going to be like, it's not going to be a lot of fun until the 1 minute I'm there for. Like it's 4 or 5 hours. Coverage starts at 5. So Juju?
I mean, I feel like you didn't ask me because you know I want to go. You know I would be the person to go with. If you pull up, we going to be, come on, man. You know, going with me places is like going with damn near MC Hammer somewhere, you know. We're just going to be dancing and having a lot of high fives, bro.
Dan, if you want to see and be seen, right, and have people make a spectacle, you bring that man with you right there. I guarantee you, Jake Paul, on his way into the ring, will stop and dap him up.
He's not an ornament. He's a human being.
Goodell dapped him up.
Yeah. Okay, so well, that's a different experience.
Trust
now.
me, trust me, Dan. Outside of these walls, people like me. Like, I'm a pretty good guy outside of here.
Dan, I'm an NBA guy, right? I'm a big deal. I go around All-Star Weekend. I'm telling you, no better access in my life than having Juju by my side, man. Access to everything. Private rooms and stuff. I'm like, what's going on here? Then they just saw Juju. He's like, hey, man, what's going on? And next thing we know, we're inside.
I have been remiss in mentioning that before what is the single biggest game in the history of Thursday night football. I have erred in not talking about this before now because the title's going to someone new. It's going to be something fresh, and you're about to learn things about Puka Nacua because you're paying attention that might be uncomfortable to learn about Puka Nacua because you've only sort of known for a while that, oh, there's another Ram that's catching all the touchdown passes. And the Rams can make anything with anyone. They can make Puka Nacua into Cooper Kupp. Devontae Adams is going to try and play in this game, which is sort of crazy. And he has to because it's a kind of important game. And there's never been one like this. We used to make fun of Thursday Night Football. Now it's Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit calling the single biggest Thursday night game there is because we're ready for a new champion. And a lot of us would think it might be playing tonight on either sideline.
Yeah, well, Philadelphia's still alive to win the Super Bowl, but this is the first time that two 11-win teams have matched up on Thursday night. It's been a very strange NFL season. Feels like a whole new era. It's week 16 and no one's won a division just yet. These are the two favorites to win the next Super Bowl. Whoever wins this game is going to have the inside track because they're going to have home field. This is the biggest Thursday night football game in the NFL ever.
That's interesting that they're number 1 and 2 favorites because one of them is going to have to play all road games in the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see how it impacts the odds. But the AFC is so wide open that, yeah, you have two teams inside the same division.
Oh, but this is there are a number of things that are important about this game. But whenever they do Super Bowl matchup type stuff, the NFC is so much stronger than the AFC. The teams at the top of that division, the Rams, if the Rams lose a couple of games, they're suddenly not in the same position that they were in as a team that this season has lost 3 games, all of them by 1 score, all of them weird. That team could be undefeated. All of them weird games. Like the Rams could be easily undefeated because they have an offense. McVay, I guess, got forgotten last year because they got hurt, but they have an offense that will make Devontae Adams try to get out there tonight. But the last time he had these two receivers, Odell Beckham got hurt in the Super Bowl and was going to go for 200 yards. Like McVay can do it with this quarterback. He's shown us he was throwing no-look passes to Cooper Kupp in the Super Bowl. That team plays tonight against a team that it needed to turn the ball over 4 times, and the Seahawks were still kicking for the game at the end because the Seahawks are really good. But they play in the same division and in a conference where the 49ers have 4 losses. It's absurd what that division is, and it's absurd that anything from Tampa Bay's division is going to be playing a playoff game.
You know you're going to be taking that home dog. That NFC South home dog first round, you do not want to go into that building.
It's a giant game, and the wide receiver for the Rams, Puka Nacua, who's a household name because he's got a poetic name and he's super excellent, super tough. His brother has been arrested for shoplifting, and he was on a live stream.
Not shoplifting.
I'm sorry. I didn't. It was shoplifting.
Yeah, I wish it was shoplifting.
I confused
He grabbed
him.
a Twix.
I confused him with Brett Favre's sister, who we did this to. She was a shoplifter.
Also, Lonzo Ball's brother was a shoplifter.
Puka Nacua's brother did a carjacking, allegedly. Puka Nacua has also been on a live stream in which last night with Aiden Ross and a person.
Never let that happen, by the way, teams. Don't let your athletes go on an Aiden Ross
Good
stream.
Lord, man.
You can't let that one sneak through communications.
It's a very popular podcast. It's a very popular podcast in sports. Puka Nacua has been on that show, and these are popular. This is a place where an athlete who is young, who wants to reach a different audience.
You mean Nazis or?
Puka Nacua. So let's talk about this for a second, because what Puka Nacua has done on this live stream, the news of yesterday was that he went on the live stream and he said the refs are making calls just to be on television. The refs are the worst. That was yesterday's controversy.
There was some other stuff.
No, but see, that hadn't gotten to me until I just heard you guys talking about it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, you could say certifiably worst week in the Nacua family went to Puka, and then last night happened. Yeah. Just a banner day for the surname.
His brother said, "Hold my beer."
His brother, who plays in the UFL, slapped a fan. There's video of this in full uniform.
Why?
Right here. We have video. Because the fan probably said something that bothered him. That's just my guess. I haven't reported on the situation.
Great reach, but that didn't happen yesterday. Or that wasn't the news that came out yesterday. The news, Dan, that came out yesterday about Puka Nacua's brother, Samson, by the way, is his name, Samson Nacua, was that he was arrested for stealing a car. Now, you say, whoa, did it was a random car? Like, no, it was a Lakers player car. Then you say, well, how did they get caught? Like, was there a police chase? Like, no. They drove the car and they valeted it. No. And then they went inside a hotel to hang out, and the cops came to arrest him and his dumbass buddy in the hotel lobby.
The crime is almost too perfect.
They valeted the stolen
The
car.
proof for the cops could be found in the pocket. Like, hand me the valet slip or the picture you take of the valet.
I guess the car had a tracker in it, but again, they valet parked it.
Who was the Laker he stole it from? Do we know which?
It's the rookie. What's his name? Tiero.
So it's a nice car. He just stole a Laker
He
player.
plays for the Lakers. Dan, it's not a Mazda Miata.
Yeah. But did he just go to the valet stand outside of the, like, how did he steal the car?
Dan, he didn't.
I called it a car. First I called it shoplifting, then I called it carjacking. Did he just take it from the valet?
No, he took the car and then valeted it later. He's like, I'm driving a stolen car. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to valet it at the place I'm at right now.
No, I think Dan's asking how did he steal it?
Carjacking. Yeah. I accused him of carjacking. That's not the same thing. That carjacking is with a gun. Did he just pick it up outside
You're
the Lakers
one that made a
facility?
carjacking.
So he just picked up the car outside the Lakers
The
facility.
spectrum of crimes that just poor Samson Nacua has allegedly committed, according to Dan Le Batard.
Also, by the way, going back to Puka Nacua, he did the stream and all that stuff, but do you guys know he tried to get those guys into the practice facility?
Okay, so do you guys, though, want to talk about what he did on the live stream?
Jeremy sounds like he's got something to say.
Before we get to the live stream, I just want to say, all of these things that Puka's doing, they're very, very, very familiar. I don't know if you guys remember. Antonio Brown, at the very beginning, when he's still with the Steelers, what was Antonio Brown doing? He was live streaming from the locker room. He's doing all this stuff. He's hanging out with these people. And we're like, oh, he's just eccentric. And then we know where it ended up. This feels very similar.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he still dating Charlotte Flair?
I don't want to just skip past the anti-Semitic parts of this. It's not a great time. I don't want to ruin this by making Jeremy make us all serious, but it seemed like I was learning about what happened here from you and Zaz talking about it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was learning about it too.
Okay, it's not something that I don't know. We're talking about the other parts of this story, not a part of this story that probably not a lot of people are talking about, but it's kind of
Dan, it's Chinooka. We don't want to bring the move down.
More like Puka no Jewas.
Okay, so we are going to just move on. Bring in the Grim Reaper here. The Grim Reaper and the bucket, the Dentech bucket. I don't have this mouthpiece in.
They're for fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry to Dentech for not having the mouthpiece in.
Oh,
You
God.
should have it in order to stop headaches if you grind at night.
The bucket is presented by Dentech's Ultimate Fantasy Football Punishment. The next big fantasy football punishment is almost here. Watch for the reveal at
He has a
Dentech.com.
mouthpiece in. It's okay.
Trisha, you know about that mouthpiece?
I got it in. Pause.
Well,
I'm rummaging.
Chris was not wearing a mouthpiece.
That's why he stumbled.
That's how that happened.
I got the Atlanta Falcons. Peace out, A-Town down.
They're at the Cardinals, and they are a 3.5-point road favorite.
I'm going to put it back.
Really?
A-Town down.
You're Atlanta.
Really?
What are you doing?
That's why I know. Don't take the Falcons. Rummaging. Ah! The Jets.
It's always dangerous to put back a favorite.
the Saints.
They're at the Saints. They're a 4.5-point dog.
Trista, you know how this works. You can make a pick, and if you don't like it, you get one putback.
7-point swing on
All
that.
right, we are rummaging. We are rolling around. Oh, Chief.
Gardner Minshew and them
Tennessee.
boys.
At Tennessee, 3.5-point favorite.
3.5. I think I say yes.
Wow.
Wow, Gardner Minshew.
Good for you.
Mania.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Show
Why-
some guts.
Why don't? It's a 3.5-point
It's a team
favorite
of a generation.
against the worst team in
Yeah,
the
I
sport.
think that's pretty good.
I got the Patriots. They got Sunday Night Football at Baltimore. That is a Waterloo game.
Baltimore's a 3.5-point favorite.
I like road Vrabel, but this isn't against the spread. This is straight up and putting it back.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Atlanta Falcons. All right. Upgrade.
all right, guys. Hey, did you know there's a Cam Ward documentary on Tubi?
That's right.
Is it any good?
0 star. That's the name of the show, not my review.
Is it any good?
I don't know. They were filming it for a while. That's great information, Mike.
Insider.
They were working on it
You
for a
happen
while.
to know.
Did you get the Lions there? I mean,
I got the Panthers. They're playing Tampa Bay.
they're a 3.5-point dog at home.
And the winner just wins the division, right? No, that's too many stakes. Too many stakes.
Necessarily.
3.5-point.
No, too many stakes.
You mentioned that. It's a 3.5-point favorite, a 3.5-point dog at home for the division.
Dan, the statue outside has balls. I don't.
Let's see what you
Also,
got.
I'm 5-0 this year, so I need this. I need the undefeated season.
Ooh, milk steak out of a bag.
Commanders.
They are a 6.5-point home dog to the Super Bowl
Damn
champion Eagles. This might be it for your undefeated streak. That game is on Saturday.
Should be worse.
I got Tony's Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville is at Denver. They're only a 3.5-point dog, but Denver's a hot
No,
team in the league.
I'm a huge Denver guy.
If you had a documentary, would you want it to be airing on Tubi specifically?
Hey, I got the Broncos.
Where'd it go?
Wow.
Some good games.
If you had a documentary, my inclination is you just want it anywhere. Hard to sell those things.
If you say, I'm just saying, if you say
I'll
to me,
take Tubi.
I mean, hey, we're gonna make a documentary about your life. It'll be on Tubi.
That's right.
I'll be like, you know what? Never mind.
Put it
I
on
got
Pluto.
I got the swap helmet.
Right, put it on YouTube.
Let me pick my helmet now. I got the Vikings.
All right, that's not a bad one.
Well, he doesn't have to keep it
anyways.
anyways. No, he's going to
Yeah.
give it to somebody else.
Let me see here. Who do I want?
They're at the
I'll make-
Commanders, Commanders.
Go in there. I'll make my
Take the
decision.
Commanders.
Vikings are at the Giants. There's
Kind of a good
3.5
helmet. You should probably keep it.
three and a half point favorite.
It looks like O'Connell's kind of figuring out J.J. McCarthy, too. It is starting to come online.
One game.
No, two. 2 games.
I got the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo is... Are we still doing bye weeks?
He's
Oh,
right.
no, it's
No,
at
they're at
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yes, we are. Commanders
They're
on the
at
ball.
I'm going to keep it.
10.5-point favorite.
And I will swap with Zaslow.
I got the Jags. I don't believe in either of these teams. I don't believe in Jacksonville and Denver, so I'll just keep
Zaslow, you have
Lack
the,
of belief in Denver.
Zaslow, you have the Vikings. I'm swapping with you.
All right.
Oh, it's fun.
It wasn't really. I would say there was too many people. I would say that it reminded me of all the times I haven't enjoyed doing the bucket. Because
Probably keep the mouthpiece in. What do you think?
no,
Sorry.
I think that's also
Thank you to Dentech
yeah.
and not Dan.
We had a good season at the bucket. It was much more disciplined. People paid their penalties.
We've still got a few to pay off.
Yeah,
Don't you worry, Dan. I'm on
I
it.
could not have lost more this season.
Yeah, you owe 4 punishments still.
I think it's 3.
Nope.
I'm going to check my math on that.
I have the math.
I have a dangerous punishment. I have to pick any name out of a bucket, a cast member from this show, and I have to dress like them.
We're filling it
Tough
only with me.
What if you pull Zaz?
That's terrible. I'm not wearing a flex fit backwards. I'm just not. I'll quit.
I mean, I wanted to ask you something as somebody who dedicated his life to front office success. When the Nationals hire someone 31 years old to be their general manager, to run their baseball franchise against the Mets and the Braves, and the person is 31 years old. Were you equipped at 31 years old to run to be the GM of a franchise?
Absolutely not. And I think for several reasons. I think, and this guy might be awesome. I don't know anything about him. I just learned a story from you right now. But here's the problem, right? Number one is you have just experience and institutional knowledge. That's so huge in these things. Yes, there's all sorts of new cutting edge technologies and stuff that being able to adapt to, being able to adopt is easier for a younger person, but a lot of stuff is just knowing stuff that's happened because you've lived it. You were around when, hey, I remember when we traded so-and-so or when so-and-so was traded for such and such. And I think that's a huge thing that people overlook when they hire a young exec. Number two, I know for myself, I definitely did not have the temperament to be a leader, because when you talk about leading ops department, it's not just, oh, what trade should we do and give me the analytics readouts. It's like I have to, number one, manage up. And that's a skill in and of itself. How many billionaires have you been around in your life to where you know how to handle this situation? Number two, you've got to know how to delegate. And a lot of times when you're that age, I know for me, when I was that age, I know a lot of people like this, you're in this constant feeling of, I got to prove to everybody I know my shit, which means I got to do everything. And I got to do it at a high level so everyone says, oh, my God, he's so good at this and so good at that. And I think those are kind of maturity things that I'm not saying people are immature at 31. I'm just saying things that you have to have a certain comfort level that is not typical among someone that young.
The reason I ask you the question is I'm trying to think if baseball is somehow different, okay? So at the start of the Moneyball movement, when they started hiring young people who were good at math and modern, Paul DePodesta left the Oakland A's and wanted to run a baseball team. And he's gone back and forth between baseball and football. And whatever power they gave him with the Cleveland Browns has been a disaster with the Cleveland Browns. If he had anything to do with anything happening there, that was a failure. And now he goes to the Rockies, who are epically bad. And he goes to run the Rockies with whatever he's learned from being whiz kid to being 50-year-old. Sean McVay obviously knows something as a young person, as a 31-year-old, that the rest of us didn't have access to. How do I bridge the gulf if I'm going to give this over to a baseball team is different than some of these other teams. A GM is different than a coach, and they really are going after the numbers guys, trying to get the whiz kids who know better about how to exploit market inefficiencies with the numbers through the data.
Right. I think, first of all, there's a big difference in coaching and GMing. Like front office work and coaching work is totally different. To me, a coach can be young, especially if he's got a playing experience or has been an assistant coach for a while. There's a lot of stuff you can figure out as a coach. With being a GM, being in the front office, there's so much juggling of things that seem like are beyond what most people consider the auspices of the game. Like, this is what you need. This is the stuff that is important. There's so much more. And then, like I said, when you're interacting with an owner, I don't know, again, I just learned the story right now from you. Is he the president of baseball operations?
He's the general manager. He is not.
Okay,
He's more powerful than the manager. He's running the place.
Yes, but but see, there you go. I'm going to stop you there because this is a new thing across baseball and basketball. This thing where, like, I have a GM. And this is the GM. He does all the trades, and he has the analytics and stuff. But then he answers to another layer before we get to ownership, the president of ops. And that guy is typically going to be like Stan Kasten was in L.A. and stuff.
And for the Nationals, that is Paul Taboni, who is 35 years old. Their manager is 33. Their GM is 31. Every single one of those guys is born after 1990.
Chris and I are a little confused that you're going to Amin on this when you're looking at the GM of the year. I'm sorry, did you win a championship in your sport?
What do you need to know?
Did you build a championship roster? No.
I didn't.
Amari came off the bench. We all know what happened. We all saw it.
Hold on.
Did you find an Unda?
Hold on, man. First of all, you're not going to disrespect my WNBA titles.
That's right. An Olympic gold medal.
And an Olympic gold medal. But I was not, to be fair to y'all, I was not the GM in any of those situations.
That's right. And you're pretty far removed from the game. We won a championship last week.
It is pretty crazy that the Nationals front office is younger on average age than the Cyclones front office.
What do you want to know, Dan?
Are you GM of the year or is he the GM of the year? Which
That's
one
right.
of you is the GM of the
That's
year?
right.
Yes.
Okay. You're both the
Yes.
GM of the year?
There he goes, trying to drive that wedge.
The Nationals leadership is younger on average age than the Clippers. That's not the Clippers front office, not the Clippers coaching staff, the Clippers.
I mean, I need your help with a couple of movie things since you're our movie expert and
Love
you
it.
have said that Zaz is not. Zaz has something for you on the movie front too. But among these three movie stories, I want to know which one you find more interesting because I discovered three things I did not know about recent movies and a 1980 movie. Have you ever heard of the movie Roar from 1980? Because it was 150 large cats. And apparently everyone on the set got mauled. Like there were 70 injuries to staff people. So I want to know whether you want to go down that path, whether you want to go down the path of Pedro Pascal was in a movie this year that made $2,750. $2,750. And then the other movie fact that I learned here recently, and I couldn't believe it. Do you remember the movie The Fan with Robert De Niro? And Wesley Snipes?
Renard.
Truly, truly awful movie. I won't spoil it for you, but at the end, Robert De Niro does something as the umpire that's unspeakable.
In a driving rainstorm.
But the thing that I wanted to tell you about this is, were you aware of, there's a worse movie than that called The Fanatic by John Travolta. And the thing that I did not know, it was written and directed by Limp Bizkit's Fred Durst, which is another person that Zaslow dresses like.
Okay, so first of all, The Fanatic, Cinephobe episode 26.
What's Cinephobe?
This is Cinephobe is the podcast where Zach Harper and I watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes and try to ascertain whether they're accurately rated or maybe didn't get a fair shake. Cinephobe, wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is The Three Musketeers. It just came out today. But episode 26 was the Fanatic. Episode 60 of Cinephobe was The Fan. So I've reviewed both of these movies, Dan, and I know a lot. And the central character in The Fanatic is played by John Travolta. He plays perhaps a mentally challenged, but we don't know. It's never explicitly said. And his name is Moose. And one of the most famous quotes is, "Moose is in the house."
You were very excited about that.
These are.
He opened up a Google Doc.
Yeah, these are two. I got to know the episode
He's got
numbers.
the notes.
These are two of my all-time favorite episodes we've ever done. In the Fan with Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes.
Hey, Bobby.
There is a sports radio character who we all believe to be modeled after Michelle Beadle, even though Michelle Beadle wasn't doing sports radio in the 90s.
It's Ellen
Barkin.
Yeah, you know who the producer is?
Oh, it's Jack Black.
Yep.
Yeah, see? So this is one of my favorite things, Dan, because people, like I said, people watch movies, they don't know shit about anyone else's jobs other than their own. But I've worked sports radio. So imagine a sports radio show where it's like, all right, hey, welcome to the Da-Da-Da show. Let's open up the phone lines now. Immediately, the first segment, before she even lays anything out, opens up the phone lines, and then Bobby De Niro is driving, and he's like calling and like, yeah, we got our guy, Bobby Rayburn, and da-da-da. And I just hate the negativity you always have on the show. And he starts killing her right there. And then Bobby Rayburn hears, and he calls in. This is all in the first segment of a radio show. He calls in, and then him and Robert De Niro start having a conversation. Like,
That's
hey,
a good
man,
show.
thanks for being such a great fan. That's why I came here and signed with the Giants. It is a great movie, Dan. You call it a bad movie. It's a great movie.
Good. Negativity is what Amin said. Negativity.
Oops. Oh.
I am honestly stunned that I placed in front of you a movie that had 150 big cats mauling crew members, and you're more excited about The Fan with Robert De Niro and a sports radio call at the beginning of that. Your love of bad movies is staggering.
So here's the deal. So he's a big free agent signing. He comes back to San Francisco Bay Area. Everyone's excited. But then he doesn't start so hot. And then
He didn't have his number.
And he didn't have his number. Who wore his number?
Juan Primo.
Juan Primo, played by?
Benicio
Del Toro. Yeah. Look at this.
You guys are connecting.
Okay.
You're experts.
All right. So Robert De Niro's character, Gil Renard, he's upset. He's like, it's all because you don't have his number, and it's that dude's fault.
Yep.
So what does he resolve to do? He confronts Juan Primo and says, hey, man, why don't you just give up the number? It's all good. And then
where does he confront him?
At a strip club, in the bathroom.
Wow. Not a single eyelid was open in that scene between Del Toro and De Niro.
And so, Juan Primo, imagine a player having some fan come in and say, you got to give up your number to the other guy. It's like, get the hell out of my face. So, of course, Gil Renard, who I should mention at this point, is a knife salesman, stabs him to death.
Mm-hmm. That's a thread.
Got him his number back.
He did.
You two have never been so aligned. You two have looked in each other's eyes, and you have a love of movies in a singular language.
Love of sports movies. I think this is a sports movie.
Great
thing.
movie.
Have you seen The Fanatic?
Of course. With what's his name?
Devin Sawa.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So how about Big Fan?
Wait a minute.
That's with Patton Oswalt?
That's right.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yep.
You have not seen the movie by Fred Durst.
I have.
He said. But,
maybe I haven't. No, maybe I haven't then.
With John Travolta?
No, I haven't
It's
seen
the
that.
biggest turd on a Travolta resume that has 1,000 turds on it.
Poppycock.
What kind of nonsense is it that a player on your team passes away and you give the number to the other teammate? What is that? Like Phillip Rivers. How does he get to wear number 17? Daniel Jones is on the roster, man.
It's called the Slump Buster. Samson taught us that.
Again with the slump buster? We have never foiled Samson that way. He has never had that experience where he was just. Derek Jeter's a bad person. Everyone knows that.
You don't respect the boulevard, and you don't respect the fans.
Samson also said that Phillip Rivers would not start. He was uninsurable.
That was a great line. I guess they got some insurance.
No one else broke down the Phillip Rivers story the way Samson did with he's uninsurable.
The crazy thing about Samson is that he opened up the show to take a shot at Zaz and other people about being so confidently wrong, while multiple times during the show, and I think the WNBA will prove this, that he's so confidently wrong.